It's a homecoming night in Eugene, and the Ducks are decked out in pink as they help shine light on Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Oregon also shines as a #2 ranked team in the country and a Heisman hopeful at quarterback, Marcus Mariota. Big welcome to Fox College football. The Ducks are on the field tonight. Washington State's air raid rolls into Eugene to take on the second-ranked Oregon Ducks. Hello, everyone. Craig Bullerjack, so glad you're with us, and a big welcome to Fox Sports 1 Primetime. My partner, Joey Harrington, played quarterback for the Ducks, 25-3 as a starter, and a Heisman finalist back in 2001. So who better to watch this game with than Joey Harrington? That's right, Joey, welcome back home, and you had some tremendous games in the stadium.
Boy, Autzen Stadium is one of the most unique places in the entire country, and as longtime PA announcer Don Essig always says, no matter what the forecast, it never rains at Autzen Stadium. But one guy who is bringing the rain down is Marcus Mariota. He's doing it with his arms. He's doing it with his legs. And this sophomore is playing with the poise and leadership of a senior. No matter what happens the rest of this season or the rest of Marcus's career, there is no doubt that he is going to leave Oregon as the greatest quarterback to ever put on a Duck uniform.
Tonight on Fox Sports 1, you will see #2 Oregon, a team with tenacity, a team with depth and speed. It's next on Fox Sports 1.
They continue to fight and claw to get to the end zone.
Welcome back to Fox College Football, presented by Geico. Oh, the moon is rising over Eugene. Washington State brings a potent passing game to Eugene, and for more on the Cougars, let's send it downstairs. Our third man of the team, Ryan Neese. Ryan?
Hey, Craig, Connor Holiday is a solid QB, and when he's grooving, the Cougar offense is one of the best passing offenses in the country. They're currently ranked 8th in total passing yards in the country. Holiday is an unbelievable quarterback. He has a great arm. He can distribute all over. He's going to be challenged here today because of the crowd noise at Autzen Stadium. Joey knows this. Joey knows that this crowd can disrupt an entire offense, and the other reason he's going to be challenged is because of the defense. It's the #1 ranked defense in the Pac-12. Oregon's defense that flies around and creates plays. He's going to be challenged here tonight, guys.
Mark Helfrich, the rookie head coach of Oregon, the former offensive coordinator who took over after Chip Kelly made the jump to the NFL, and so far has been a very smooth transition. Washington State won the toss. They want the football, and we're underway in Eugene. At the goal line, Ricky Galvin breaks it 30. And the Cougars at the 35-yard line, a 35-yard return. And impact players tonight.
Craig, you're going to see the ball go to a bunch of different receivers, but keep your eye on Gabe Marks. He's going to get the majority of the targets, and when they get into the red zone, to pay attention to Vince Maley. He's a big target that Connor likes to throw the ball up to. But Ifo Ekpre-Olumu leads this secondary for Oregon. That is one of the finest, not only in the Pac-12, but in the country.
So Connor Holiday, shotgun. He's got Marcus Mason alongside, and this quick strike offense does not waste time as they go to Craycraft, number 84, and a pickup on first down of 14-yard lines. This is Connor Holiday, a junior this season in 7 games, Joey, over 2,200 yards. The one stat that jumps, the 13 interceptions.
Well, he is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He is fantastic at times, and then he's had moments where he's just imploded, like last week in the 4th quarter against Oregon State. When he's on, he's on. When he's off, he really struggles.
On first down, a quick strike, and traffic to the 40. The ball jumps out. They're going to call and wave it incomplete. Gabe Marks, the intended receiver, leads his team with 46 receptions, and he was knocked down and hit by Brian Jackson.
You're going to see Connor get the ball out of his hands very quickly tonight. They do not waste time getting up to the line of scrimmage, and they don't waste time getting it out of their quarterback's hands. There's going to be a lot of balls where he doesn't even grab the laces. He just goes.
Mason and Caldwell line up alongside Holiday. Caldwell gets the carry off the right side, a 3-yard gain. Get ready just to buckle up tonight, Joey, because both these teams run over 70 plays per ball game. In fact, the Cougars are good for 73. Oregon goes for 78 plays a game.
Well, you know what? That 78 plays, I think, is a little misleading because up until this point, they've been slowing the game down in the second half. Against Washington last week, they had over 80. I wouldn't be surprised if they had 45 plays here at halftime.
4 wide receivers set on second down. Up top, man coverage. And a battle for the ball. It's incomplete as it drifts out of bounds. The intended receiver, Vince Maley, transfer out of Sierra College. And Joe, he's made an impact in the last few weeks.
Well, he has. He's only seen the ball 14 times, but of those 14, 5 of them have been touchdowns. I think right there he just didn't expect the ball or didn't see it coming, but we saw Connor Halliday throwing a jump ball, trying to get his big receiver, 6'3", 240 pounds, trying to have him go up and make a play.
Mike Boland for the 32nd time will punt the ball, averaging just under 40 yards a kick, and a nice high hanger. Fair catch, Wade Ford is going to take a kick inside the 10-yard line. Cougars on top of it at the 8-yard line, and a 40-yard punt. And Oregon will start inside their own 10-yard. Impact players.
On the offensive side of the ball for Oregon, if DeAnthony Thomas is healthy enough to play, he is a game breaker. But if he doesn't go, keep an eye out for Thomas Tyner and Byron Marshall in the backfield. Braylon Addison has made the transition from being a high school quarterback to a game-breaking wide receiver for Oregon. And in the secondary, pay attention to Dayon Buchanan, one of the hardest-hitting safeties in the Pac-12.
Marcus Mariota on first down. Play action, throws near side. John Huff. Question whether or not he was healthy enough to go tonight. He had an ankle issue, was in a walking boot for a few days, but just picked up 17 yards. And here is the Heisman hopeful. This season, 6 games. He has an arm. Joey, as you mentioned, he can run. 25 total touchdowns. Has yet to throw an interception.
And that's the most impressive stat line right there.
The ball off right side. That ball is knocked down, 26-yard line. Byron Marshall should get a heavy load tonight, and he just said hello to Daquan Brown, the corner, number 25.
Byron Marshall has done a very nice job filling in for the injured DeAnthony Thomas. Last 3 games has gone over 100 yards. Kind of an unheralded back, has done a great job filling in for DeAnthony.
Backfield's empty, 5 wide receivers on second down and long. Mariota called the audible. Marshall comes back, lines up alongside, and picks up about 6 yards past the 30. They'll mark him at the 32-yard line. Tackled by Justin Sagote. There's the rookie head coach. Boy, incredible transition. Smooth is the word. From Chip Kelly to Mark Helfrich. On the ground again, Marshall tries the middle. He's knocked down 35, close to a first down. And Pole, number 98, with the hit. They're going to move the chains, Joey, after a pickup of 3.
Just a solid start. I mean, I think that's what's lost on a lot of people about this Oregon offense is they see the big plays and the big touchdowns, but Oregon can also just chunk it between the tackles for 4 and 5 yards a pop.
Number 3 in the country on the ground, rushing 324 yards a game. And that man so dangerous with the football. How about that quick strike? Addison with the catch, and he's buried at the 42 after a pickup of 8. There's that dink and dunk. I mean, it's 6 yards, maybe 7, then Oregon just picked up 8.
They almost lull you to sleep at times. Then you get caught sleeping, and that's when they hit the big ball over the top.
This time the formation is 3 wide receivers near side. There's the first run. Watch out. Mariota has legs. 30. The Heisman hopeful is trotting away. Could be the one. Touchdown.
Greg, he does it in so many different ways. He does it with quick decisions in the option. He does it with his arm throwing the ball like we just saw to Braylon Addison. And you know what? Then he just decides to keep it. I'm going to take it myself, and I'm probably faster than you are, so I'm just going to outrun you.
57 yards. The 9th touchdown via the legs of Mariota, and now we've got a flag down on the two-point conversion. The ball pops out. Another flag is out. And Joey, this is just old-time scrum football.
It looks like rugby right there.
At the 20-yard line. I think it surprised us all that instead of that extra point by Mark Helfrich, a decision to go for two, multiple flags out. Our referee tonight, Jay Strickers.
There are two fouls on the play, both on the offense. Holding on the offense, number 9. Also, illegal forward pass, a second forward pass on the offense. Both penalties are declined. Extra point is no good.
So we've got a 6-0 game after a 57-yard sprint by Marcus Mariota. Ducks by 6. Marcus Mariota, 57 yards, made it look easy. 6-0 Ducks.
Well, he made it look easy against the leading tackler in the Pac-12. Watch him put a move on Dayon Buchanan right there in the hole. The last guy possible to make the tackle is that safety, and he made a pretty dang good safety miss right there in the open field.
Matt Wogan, true freshman, teed up, 35-yard line. Yards deep and a knee. No return for Ricky Galvin. Let's get a thought on that offensive performance, Ryan Neese.
Hey, Craig, that last offensive performance, Washington State struggled a little bit with their offense. One of the reasons could be the crowd noise. I'm going to give you guys an example of how loud it is down here. I'm going to stand back like a quarterback and from a guard position. I'm going to take a couple step backs. Let's see how loud it is, guys. Can barely hear me. That's how loud a crowd is up here. It's distracting to an offense.
Oh, Ryan, I love that. Joey stepped about, 3 feet back? As Halliday throws it deep, incomplete.
Well, he didn't even step as far back as shotgun formation. I mean, that's why you see so many hand signals and silent counts when you get in a shotgun on the road. That noise on the road, especially here at Autzen, just gets to be deafening at times.
There's Mike Leach, second year, great success at Texas Tech, 10 years, 10 bowl games. Last year, 3-9. Already, Washington State with a record tonight of 4-3. He'll line 3 wide receivers up top. Flag is out as they hit a hot slant. Dom Williams makes the reception to the 40-yard line, but a flag's out. That was a 15-yard gain, but hold on.
It looks like they're going to get Taradni Prevost.
Offside, defense, number 86, moved into the neutral zone at the snap. Penalties declined. Down is 1.
15-yard gain.
So put 15 on the board and a first down at the 40-yard line, at the 39. Crowd still at a high roar. Marcus Mason alongside Halliday. Little trickery. To the 50-yard line, Leon Brooks jumps in and picks up 12, and Mike Leach, the old pirate himself, with some trickery.
And watch this great cut up inside. Oregon defense did a nice job of turning it back inside, but it was well blocked by the Washington State offensive line, and there was a nice crease there up the seam.
Washington State trying to answer after that opening touchdown. 2 running backs in the backfield. They flush out on a flat. Mason wide open. He's got running room. Takes a hard bump out of bounds at the 45-yard line to pick up a 4.
Hey, Craig, that's a great example of what just completing a few passes can do. You get that big one for 15 on that slant earlier, and now all of a sudden your defensive, your secondary and your linebackers start to soften up a little bit. And when they soften up under the downfield routes, you get your backs wide open in the flat like that. Great decision. Great job going through his progression, Connor Halliday.
Washington State, 347 yards passing per game, 8th in the country, 3rd in Pac-12 play. Halliday once more, stands, throws. That ball falls incomplete. He was looking for Williams.
Halliday's pass incomplete.
Williams, a big target, Joey, 6'2", 192, a sophomore from Pomona, California. That brings up third down. Halliday's barking as loud as he can. Movement. Hot slant, ball's out, incomplete. I don't see a flag. He wanted Gabe Marks.
Well, he wanted Gabe Marks, but who he got was Terrence Mitchell. Very nice play at the cornerback position here. Terrence is going to get a lot more looks this year with the great play of Ifo Ekpeolemi on the other side. Teams are going to go away from Ifo, but Terrence Mitchell is a heck of a corner over there in his own right.
Gutty call by Leach here early. Down 6, just 5 minutes into quarter number 1. Fourth down, 5. Halliday throws, incomplete. So Leach gambles, gives the ball up on downs. And we'll see more of Marcus Mariota, the Heisman hopeful, when we come back on Fox Sports 1.
Welcome back to Oregon. I'm Ryan Neese here. Down on the field, Craig and Joey, I don't know if you guys are following the fall fashion trends, but pink is the new black. Yes, pink. This is the color of the helmet. This electric pink helmet is the helmet that all the Oregon players are wearing here in honor of the breast cancer awareness month. All the players decided themselves to come up with this idea to wear these pink helmets to support the cause. What a great opportunity to expose their fashion trends. This is one of the things that I love about Oregon, and I'll tell you what, they're doing it for a great cause. Real men wear pink, fellas.
Absolutely. Ryan, great report. I'm with you all the way, and this hurry-up offense continues as Huff runs it down to about the 36-yard line. They'll pick up 6. Joey, you're involved. All these helmets will go on to auction to help research, funding research.
That's right. It's going to the Kay Yao Foundation to help. All goes to cancer research. And there's an auction starting. Dan Fouts has signed a helmet. Ahmad Rashad has signed a helmet. These helmets are going to be auctioned off for a fantastic price.
How about that throw? Couldn't have put it better as Huff went down to grab it at the 16-yard line. 21 yards. Mariota to Josh Huff. Fresh downs inside the 20-yard line. Big hole up the middle. Inside the 5 goes Marshall. Now first and goal for the Ducks at the 3-yard line. Already up 6.
And here's what Oregon does. As soon as they get a big play, they come right back at you.
Handoff up the middle. Marshall pushes. And just inside the 1-yard line. Marshall, a sophomore, averages, Joey, 92 yards a game. Last week against the Huskies, 19 carries and had a nice game of 106 yards. And now he pushes, and what do you know? In goes Marshall. Touchdown.
Just a great push by the offensive line. An O-line that really does not get enough credit, led by Hronis Grasu right there in the middle. Playing center, an All-American last year, is anchoring an offensive line that is big and fast. These guys can get on blocks and get downfield, but they just got a great strong push right there on the goal line.
7th rushing touchdown of the season for Marshall instead of a 2-point attempt. Mark Helfrich decides to boot it through, and the PAT is good. Oregon early, commanding 13-0 lead. Byron Marshall celebrating his 1-yard touchdown plunge. Joey, the 34th touchdown drive for Oregon this season, less than 2 minutes. They go 6 plays, 65 yards, and 111.
Well, their first one was kind of slow. What, they went 2:14 on that first one? If Marcus could have run a little faster on that 50-yard touchdown, maybe they could have got that one in 2 minutes.
Logan puts his leg into it, short 5-yard line. Ricky Galvin breaks a tackle, tripped up at the 29-yard line to pick up a 24. Time for a Lowe's Never Stop Improving game break. Back to L.A., here's Patrick O'Neill.
Craig, thanks. Let's go to Death Valley, a battle of unbeatens in the ACC. Number 5, Florida State, at number 3, Clemson. Jameis Winston to Rashad Green, 72-yard touchdown. The crowd is out of this one early. 27-7, Florida State at the half. Famous Jameis's first half numbers, 242 and 2 touchdowns. Back to Eugene, Craig, Joey, and Ryan.
All right, thank you, Patrick. Washington State needs to answer, and a throw and a catch to the 39. Gabe Marks picks up 10.
Hey, Craig, I got to say, Connor Halliday is looking really sharp. He's looking very confident. He's looking very calm. You know, considering the way the last game ended for them against Oregon State last week, to have him come out and play like this to start the game has got to be a great sign for the Washington State coaches.
Now, Cougars gave up 28 points in that fourth quarter. Turnover's a big issue. That is a lob pass up for grabs, and no catch. Dom Williams bobbled that ball, and it's incomplete.
What I love about this Mike Leach offense is he is never scared to take a shot. It doesn't matter what the down or distance is. If the defense dictates that you throw a ball, that's the ball he's going to throw, and he expects his wideouts to come down with the catch.
Second down and 10. Mason lines up alongside Halliday. Quick throw, far side, and a big gainer. Watch out, 40 at the 30. Down to the 20-yard line goes Isaiah Myers, number 88. Hasn't been in the mix much of late, and just pulled out his 13th reception. How about 39 yards?
Well, and how about throwing the ball to anybody who's out there? Connor Halliday, over the last 5 weeks, has thrown the ball to 10 different receivers every single time. This is an offense that will spread the ball around. It's not about feeding one superstar. It's about finding what the defense is allowing you to throw and simply taking it.
Halliday does a great job going through those progressions. Joey, I don't think there's really someone he would say, I have a favorite target. He likes anyone that's open.
Don't we all as quarterbacks?
Timer, set the game clock to 7:45, please. You got equipment repair on the chains.
Done an equipment malfunction.
Don't see that very often.
Got a broken chain, got it fixed. Clocked at 7:45. Cougars on the drive, down by 13. Fresh downs at the 23-yard line. Halliday shotgun, throws out of the backfield. A ball bobbled incomplete. Off the hands of Marcus Mason. Brings up second down. Tony Washington Jr. Good pursuit, big number 91.
Big guy who runs really well. I had the chance to run into Tony yesterday at the facility, and what a fantastic guy. Just a nice young man who's a heck of a football player as well. A big guy getting out and covering a running back out there in the flat. That's pretty impressive.
6'3", 245, kind of a hybrid DN from the linebacker position. Halliday, shotgun, feels pressure, flushed. He's got room to run. He tucks and takes it out of bounds, takes a hard hit just inside the 20-yard line, and a late flag comes down the sideline. And it was Derek Malone, the weak side linebacker, very active, got a little over anxious.
But Derek Malone leads this team in tackles, and I think he just got a little aggressive there on the sideline.
Malone is all over the field,
averages 8 tackles a game.
Personal foul, defense, number 22. Secondary act, throwing the quarterback to the ground. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
You see Coach Helfrich not happy with the call there. I don't think it's the contact made, but the fact that Malone took him to the ground once he was out of bounds.
Rode him down.
It's tough as a defender to stop your momentum, especially when you leave your feet to make a tackle. But they're going to call that every time, especially on a quarterback on the sideline.
Mason and Caldwell lined up in the backfield with Halliday. First and goal. Halliday dances out of trouble, again has room. And he'll dance out of bounds at the 11-yard line. He'll lose 2 on the play.
How many times have you seen a quarterback break contain, deep in the red zone and have a receiver break free in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. Great job of coverage by the Oregon secondary, because that's an extremely tough thing to do. You rely on your defensive line to pressure the quarterback, keep him in there, force him to make a bad decision. But when he breaks free and you have to guard a guy for 5, 7, 10 seconds down the field, that's a real tough job.
Second down goal. Blitzer coming up the middle, picked up. Got man coverage and turning and stumbling. It's incomplete. Ricky Galvin open, but the ball was thrown on his opposite shoulder.
Oregon came with the pressure this time, forcing Connor to get rid of the ball early. Forcing him to throw hot out in the flat. He had the guy initially open, but that was a ball that needed to be on the line, and put it right in his chest so he has the time to make a play. Otherwise, the defense can recover and make the tackle.
Washington State 0 for 2 on third down conversions. They need one here to keep this drive alive. Third and goal. High snap. End zone. Up top. Corner. Got him! Touchdown, Williams. Beautiful ball, big catch, Dom Williams on a third and goal.
Boy, it was. It was a perfect pass. Just a teardrop right over to the outside corner. Oh, and what a move right off the line of scrimmage. It helps when your wideout gives you that much space in the end zone.
Williams grabs his 4th touchdown of the season. Halliday just tossed his 15th of the season, and the PAT is good. Washington State answers after falling down by 13. It's a Halliday to Williams touchdown, 13-7 Ducks. Oregon's defense huddled up after that Dom Williams touchdown of 13 yards. Cougars on the board on the road here in Eugene. 8 plays, 71 yards, just over 2 minutes. Halliday 4 of 7, 72 yards. And Joe, I think you'll agree, a much needed statement drive after trailing by 13 by the Cougars. Gonna bring it out. 3 yards deep. Watch out. Huff. Oh, cartwheel down at the 21. Well, this week before this afternoon's game, we asked our Facebook fans which player would have the biggest impact on today's showdown between UCLA and Stanford. Here's how they answered. 50% thought Brett Hundley would have the biggest impact. 25% went with Ty Montgomery. And Joey, UCLA losing for the first time today. In a way, Hundley did affect the ball game. A tough afternoon, 2 picks, just 192 yards through the air.
Yeah, exactly. He was not his sharp self. And even the 192 yards, they were tough yards for him to get. He just didn't look comfortable at any point during that ball game today.
Oregon has scored on their first 2 drives. Marshall flushed out of the backfield. How about the patience by Marcus Mariota? But a flag is back after a pickup of 19. But you know what that usually means? Holding. We'll get the call from Jay Strickers.
Personal foul, defense, hands to the face, number 95. 15-yard penalty, first down.
You want a Nauta, number 95, personal foul, as you heard, hands to the face.
And that is a penalty you cannot afford to have in a game when you're on the road against the number 2 team in the country. You can't give them cheap yards. You simply cannot give Oregon something that they don't earn, because they're going to earn a lot as it is.
First down, 45-yard line, backfield empty for Oregon. 5 wide receivers on a quick throw. What a catch. Up top inside the 30-yard line. Beautiful catch as Darrell Hawkins climbed the ladder for a 20-yard gain.
Well, beautiful throw, because what he did is he saw that cover 2 with the high safety over the top and realized he had to stop him right in that hole. And he put it right on his back shoulder, did Marcus. Perfect ball right in the hole for his receiver to catch.
240 consecutive passes now without an interception. In the pocket, all day to throw, has a man up top, but overthrows Huff. And it's incomplete, out of bounds.
How about the time that Marcus had to throw that football? even though it wasn't completed, his offensive line is giving him all day to throw the ball. I mentioned Hronis Grasu earlier. Tyler Johnstone at that left tackle. Only 277 pounds, not your typical big, strong, or I guess oversized left tackle. But first team all Pac-10 last year as it was.
First incompletion for Oregon. Back to the ground, big hole right side. Asheville runs through it. 5, skips in, touchdown. "26 yards. And Marshall finds the end zone for the second time in this opening quarter.
Well, Hronis Grasu opens it up the middle. Tyler Johnstone protects Mariota's left side, and the right side there, Jake Fisher and Hamani Stevens do a fantastic job of just clearing the way for Byron Marshall in his second touchdown of the day.
Maldonado with the PAT, splits the uprights. Marshall, 26 yards. All he needs is a little hole. He finds it and high steps it in. 27, Oregon. Marshall in the end zone. Joey, 4 plays, 79 yards, 49 seconds.
Well, you see the touchdown. That's the payoff play. But watch what sets it up. Marcus Mariota, play action, looks to the far left, comes back to his inside receiver, comes all the way back across the field to his back. The patience in that pocket, that's tough to teach. You just have to learn that and have the instincts.
Washington State will have to answer once again. Just found the end zone, 5 yards deep and a knee. Experienced the emotional journey of one of baseball's all-time greats through devastating injury in the final days of his remarkable career. Being Mariano premieres tomorrow on Fox with a special encore presentation Tuesday on Fox Sports 1. Oh yes, what a career. A man in pinstripes just across the way, Joey. Nice baseball facility here in Eugene.
PK Park.
PK Park. Lights are on.
The new baseball program back after a few-year hiatus, you could say.
3 wide, top of your screen. Tiandre Caldwell in the backfield. He'll get the pass on a lob outside from Halliday. Turns on the Jets and still bumped out of bounds. Only a gain of 4. And he's out of bounds at the 29-yard line.
You know, all these Washington State running backs, they're a very specific type of player. Washington State isn't going to recruit a big, strong Eddie George type running back. They're going to recruit someone who can get out of the backfield quick, put a move on someone in space, and has good hands. All 3 of these backs really fit that bill.
Second down and 6. Halliday, pressure, out of the pocket, ball's out. Rolls out of bounds at the 24-yard line. And slow off the turf is Halliday. He took a hit.
He took a hit from Baseko Lacumbo and Taylor Hart. Baseko Lacumbo, one of the only returning linebackers from that crew last year, that was just fantastic. Keeps working and working to get into the quarterback, never gives up. Combines with his D lineman there to force the fumble, and they nearly had an opportunity for a big momentum play.
Halliday picks himself off the turf. He's looking at 3rd down and 14. 5 minutes left to play in the opening quarter. Throws a dart to the near side. It's caught well short of the first down by Ricky Galvin. I'll mark him out at the 28, a pickup of 8.
You rarely say that there's a drive in the first quarter that can impact the game. But Washington State needed to generate something on that drive. After Oregon came back and just punched a response touchdown in so quick, they really needed something positive to come out of that drive.
Bowling set to punt at the 15-yard line. Puts up a beauty.
Oh, what a kick.
Addison all the way back at the 16-yard line. Flags out. And he's swarmed under at the 32-yard line. Still trying to push ahead. How about that punt? A bowling of 53 yards and a 15-yard return, but a flag back inside the 25. It came out in a hurry.
Are you ready for a jet? It could be jet Izzo, jet anything, okay? We're going to be the ball's left.
During the return, illegal block in the back on the return team, number 13. Penalties enforced 10 yards, down will be 1.
Troy Hill, the guilty party. So visit ADT.com/sports to enter for a chance to win an ADT security and home automation system. That's ADT Security. So the penalty will put the ball, Joey, back inside the 20 at the 16-yard line. Ducks up 20-7, still with just over 4 minutes left in this opening quarter on a homecoming night in Eugene. Mariota, far side. Boy, he makes it look easy. It's not 10 or 12. It could be 30. Pitches it outside, a pickup of 13 and a first down.
Watch Marcus's feet. Just watch his feet on this drive and see how calm they are in the pocket. He rarely panics and gets what people call happy feet there in the pocket.
He has found his rhythm early. This time rolls. And still, Joey, on a string, incomplete to B.J. Kelly.
Even in that situation right there when he got flushed out, he didn't panic. He stepped up in the pocket, realized that it was collapsing, and then calmly got himself to the outside. He missed the throw. I think he probably wishes he could have had that one back because he had his wide receiver running open there. But he did a good job of getting himself in position to make that play.
This will be the 19th play for Oregon in this quarter. Just under 14 minutes or 4 minutes left in the first quarter. High snap taken. Marshall, looks like maybe a horse collar. He was hit up high and he's dropped down at the 30. Xavier Cooper.
And this is a big, big play for Washington State. 3rd and long. Oregon has the momentum right now, and they're in a position, if they score a touchdown here on this drive, to really crack it open. Washington State's defense needs to come up with a big stop and get the ball back.
Clock runs up on 3 minutes, empty backfield. Mariota stands in the pocket, hit from behind, still gets the ball away, and it's a first down at the 45. Braylon Addison picks up 15.
And what poise and patience in the pocket by Marcus there. He got squeezed, and he couldn't break out like he did last time. So what did he do? He stepped forward in the pocket. That's what an offensive line's job is, to get the guys all the way to outside, clear the vision, and allow the quarterback to step up in and deliver the ball. Great job converting the first down by Marcus.
Motion man becomes the runner. Marshall, and a pickup of 3 to midfield. Let's go downstairs, check in with Ryan Neese.
Joe, you made a great point that Washington State needed to find a way to come up with a big play on that 3rd down, but they didn't. They're playing so soft in the secondary right now. They're allowing a lot of these underneath routes. They're going to have to be more aggressive with their corners and with their safeties to shut down some of these pass plays.
That's a tough thing to do, Ryan. I mean, what you're saying is, to a defender or a defensive coach, is you need to get up and press these guys at the line of scrimmage and allow the possibility of a big play, because that's what everybody's scared of. That's what Oregon highlights are. They're the big plays down the field. A lot of teams will say, we'll give you the underneath stuff and force them to drive the field, but what the underneath stuff does, it creates the big plays.
2nd down, 7. First time pressure delivered by the Cougars, and Mariota is taken down by Xavier Cooper. A loss of 9 on the play.
Nice pressure by Washington State. The offensive line for Oregon has done a really nice job of giving Marcus time to throw today, and Washington State used a 3-man front, brought a linebacker in to make it a 4-man rush, and were able to get pressure on Marcus and create a huge 3rd down and long situation.
Cooper came in with 1.5 sacks. He got some help from his nose tackle, Nauta. Now they set up the screen, took away some of that pressure. Watch out. Tyner tripped up midfield. First time we've seen Thomas Tyner. He picks up 9. Let's check in with Ryan.
Craig and Joey, we saw in that last play, the defense came up with a big stop. Joey, they did a good job. The defensive line's flying around. But I'll tell you what, the secondary played man-to-man coverage like Coach Grizzly, the defensive coordinator, told us on the telephone, hey, we need to play man-to-man. We need to get in these guys' face and try to find a way to harass the quarterback, Marcus Mariota, with our defensive line.
First time that Maldonado has punted tonight. He's at the 35. A season average of 41 yards a boot, and hangs it high. Leon Brooks at the 21-yard line, swarmed over a 35-yard punt. Time for a game break. Here's Patrick O'Neill.
Hey, thanks. Let's go to Oxford, where Ole Miss knocks off LSU 27-24. Andrew Ritter drills it from 41. Ole Miss had lost 11 straight versus top 10 opponents. No more, and the heavyweights continue to fall on this Saturday. Craig, back to you.
24 down, and look at that. You know what? I know it's a cliche. It's why you play them. Big upsets. This is the midway point of college football. This has been a really marquee weekend.
Oh, it has. South Carolina went down this morning. Texas A&M went down right before kickoff here. LSU goes down. A lot of big-name schools in the top 10, top 15 with huge losses, very costly losses. Georgia lost this morning.
Yeah, we'll see some change-ups in the top 25. As those polls will be released later this weekend. 1:03 left, first quarter. Washington State with the football. Caldwell tries the left side. Knocked down after a pickup of 3.
You know, Craig, you're not going to see Washington State run the ball often, but they actually run it fairly effectively. All 3 of the running backs who share this load are averaging over 4.5 yards a carry. Now, that's not a huge number, but it's an effective number. You usually shoot for that 4 yards per carry mark, figuring that 3 runs of 4 yards will get you a first down.
Second down, 7. Man goes in motion. They set up a screen. Caldwell has it, stops and goes. Great pursuit by the guys with the pink hats on tonight. Just a gain of 2. That brings up third down. That should be the last play of this opening quarter, where you saw Oregon bust down early on a 57-yard run by Mariota. Marshall a couple of touchdowns. Dom Williams, the lone touchdown for the Cougars of 13 yards. We played 15 minutes. 20-7. Oregon, number 2 in the country. Pink. Oh, it's in vogue tonight in Eugene. We'll be back on Fox Sports 1. Ducks with a commanding opening quarter, up 20-7 on the visiting Cougars of Washington State. Cougars with the football as we start quarter number 2 at the 26-yard line. Halliday swings it out of the backfield. Caldwell, you got to catch it before you can run. Time now for our Chevrolet stats comparison. And Joey, we look at the 2 quarterbacks.
You know what? You expect Marcus Mariota to have numbers like that, but Connor Halliday is playing extremely well. 10 for 19 isn't a great percentage, but he's doing a very nice job distributing the ball. He's been smart with it, throwing a nice touchdown over the top. Both quarterbacks are playing extremely well right now.
Ball confirmation. Addison deep for the Ducks.
Mike Boland set to punt inside his 15-yard line. Oregon sets up for a return, and he shanks it off the right side, and it takes a bounce to the 34-yard line. Got a nice roll and a punt of 41-yard lines. Well, the Ducks don't just fly, they run. Jonathan Stewart led the Pac-10 in rushing in 2007. Blunt and Johnson in 08, third in the FBS. How about LaMichael James could stop on a dime. Barner, second in school history, and then DeAnthony Thomas.
Oregon has a very rich tradition of running backs here. Going back, Ontario Smith and Maurice Morris in 2001 both went for 1,000 yards. You go all the way back to Ahmad Rashad, Bobby Moore when he was playing there.
Mariota, how did he do that? Making something out of nothing. He danced, waited, threw that ball to the flat far side, and picks up 16.
Well, he knew where his outlet was. That's what great quarterbacks do, is they know where to go to get themselves out of trouble. He got contained out there on the edge and knew that he got his guy standing on the sideline. He just flipped him the ball out there, and there was no one to make the tackle.
They stack 3 wide receivers up top, and the ball off straight away. It's Tyner who pushes the pile about to the 46-yard line to pick up a 5. Tyner, this young man has big aspirations, a true freshman. Second down, pressured out of the pocket. Mariota goes up top, wide open. And again, his scramble ability is marvelous. In trouble, helps himself with a pass of 27 to the 20-yard line.
Well, even when the pocket breaks down, Marcus has the speed and the vision to get outside the pocket and make a play with his legs. What he did is he just extended the play with his legs there and then found his receiver downfield for a big play.
That was his tight end, Johnny Munt, and a true freshman with a big future. And the Ducks are on the march. A timeout. 20-7 Ducks. Oregon students having a good time so far tonight. 20-7 Oregon. You look at those offensive leaders. Marcus Mariota, already a back-to-back Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Week. And those numbers, he may be winning his 3rd in a row.
Well, I look at that and see balance. I see Marcus throwing it. I see Byron running it. I see the receivers, Josh Huff, doing a great job catching and running with it after they receive it.
And a play action, Mariota goes up over the top. yards. I'm waiting for the indicator. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Tyner, my goodness, what a catch. Now they move it back from the 1 to the 3-yard line.
My guess is they'd be checking the spot.
The runner was short of the goal line. Previous play is under further review.
So they're going to have the replay up top by replay official Fred Gallagher. A tremendous throw, tremendous catch.
Well, I'm going to say right here, Craig, that wasn't Marcus's best throw. It was a fantastic catch. What happened is the safeties were playing very wide. They went out with the wide receivers, and Thomas Tyner snuck right up the middle. It's a tough throw to make, putting it right down the middle of the field. But Thomas did a fantastic job of adjusting, turning his whole body around to catch that football.
And I think you'll see from the official review, at least really what we've seen, is that ball was down short of the goal line.
I don't think there's any debate from that view. Watch here as he catches the ball. The ball lands right there, a half-yard short of the goal line.
And here is the call.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The pass was caught. Oregon ball, first down and goal from the 1-foot line.
Oregon with a first and goal up by a count of 20-7. Tyner in the backfield, dances right side, touchdown Ducks.
Washington State got a really nice push up front, right through the middle. See right there, they split the A-gap, but Thomas Tyner sees it, has great vision in the backfield. A little jump cut to the outside and slides in for the touchdown. Nice vision by Thomas there.
Logan with the PAT. Chip shot is up and good. Tyner from 1 yard out. 27-7, Oregon. Tyner celebrates the 1 yard touchdown, and again, a drive under 2 minutes. The 36th touchdown drive under 2 minutes for Oregon. And they build a lead now of 20, 27-7. Ricky Galvin set to return the kickoff. Short kick, runs up 10-yard line. Not much running room. Does pick up 13. Time for a game break. Let's check in with Patrick O'Neill.
Hey, thanks. Let's take you to South Bend and one of the game's great rivalries, USC versus Notre Dame. Last chance for the Trojans. Cody Kessler to Nelson Aguilar. Broken up. Great hit. Irish hang on for a 14-10 victory. They improve to 5-2, and Craig, the Trojans fall to 4-3.
All right, thank you, Patrick. That is one of the great rivalries of college football.
Tough year for the Trojans.
Oh, absolutely. Lane Kiffin out a couple of weeks ago. Washington State needs points. Oh my. Halliday never saw Tony Washington at a loss of 8. Joey Halliday has been harassed in this first half.
Yes, remember talking to Brian Jackson yesterday, the safety for the Ducks. Said we never want an offense to know where we're coming from. They never want them to know how they're lining up, because as soon as the quarterback identifies what they're playing on defense, he knows how to attack them. This Oregon defense is going to give you so many different looks, and they're hoping to spring someone free on every play.
Second down and 18. Halliday in the pocket. Downfield coverage, flush from the pocket. Still gets the ball away, and he makes a connection. Ricky Galvin helps him out. Pickup of 18 to the 31-yard line.
What a fantastic play by Connor Halliday there. Stayed in the pocket, waited for his routes to develop, and then when he was forced out, he stayed in a passing position. He didn't panic. He kept his eyes downfield and delivered a strike. I've been really, really impressed with the way Connor has played here in the first half.
2 sacks, 5 hurries. Delivers a first down. Clock runs up on 12 minutes left in the first half. There's a quick throw far side. Bobby Ratliff with the reception. They'll gain 2 to the 34-yard line.
How about that? Washington State gets the ball out of their hands so fast, it's almost like a shot put. I mean, he didn't bother to find the seams. He grabbed it and just kind of pushed it out there because they saw something. They recognized a mismatch, a numbers advantage, and they want to get the ball into their hands of the receiver as fast as possible so they don't give the defense a chance to recover.
Leon Brooks, Isaiah Myers, Ratliff. Lineup, wide receivers for Washington State. Second down and 8. Handoff, and what looked to be a wide hole closes in a hurry for Mason. Now we've got a flag. Emotion, frustration, all the above.
Yeah, let's wait and see what this is.
After the play, personal foul, defense, number 4, delayed excessive act. 15 yards, automatic first down.
That's Eric Dargan, Jr., Pittsburgh, California.
You can't do that. I know you're playing with emotion, and I know you're trying to get your guys off the pile, protect your teammates, but you can't make that type of mistake. Now Washington State has the ball at midfield, and they're starting to build a little momentum here.
First down, 49-yard line of Oregon. 4-man rush, quick throw, middle of the field, on the hands of Gabe Marks. Hits the edge and out of bounds inside the 20-yard line.
And that's where that penalty comes back to get you. You've set Washington State up in midfield. And watch Marks just come straight across the field. A little bit of a pick, a great block there from the receiver coming from the other side, springs him up the sideline. But all of these plays, every single play builds on one another, and that penalty could prove to be very costly as Washington State is now within the red zone.
Gabe Marks came in #2 in the Pac-12 in receptions with 46. First down, Halliday swarmed under. He'll take a sack back at the 23-yard line. DeForest Buckner, number 44, drops him for a 5-yard loss.
And DeForest Buckner is one of about 5 guys for this Oregon defensive line that Coach Aliotti considers a starter. They roll him through, and they ask him to be 2-gap players. They don't want him to get a speed rush outside and lose contain. They want him to lock up the man, wait for it to develop, push them back, and then when the play happens, to go to one side or the other. Great job of pushing the offensive lineman back into the backfield by DeForest Buckner.
Second down, 15. Halliday, quick throw, far side. Tough throw, and it's caught. Vince Maley with a second grab inside the 15, and the Cougars get 10 yards back.
That is a difficult throw right there, Craig. Out in the field, it's much easier to throw these square outs because you have the threat of the deep ball. Here, when you get tight into the red zone, you have the end line as a 12th defender, and you don't have to play as soft and covered, so it's tougher to throw square outs. A throw right on the money by Connor Halliday. Great ball.
This will be the 33rd play of this first half. Still over 9 minutes remaining for Washington State. They're knocking on the door. Quick throw. Hot slant, caught, and upended. The ball comes out. Maley was in the end zone. Rodney Hardrick, the middle linebacker, on top of the ball in the end zone.
You love it when receivers give great effort. But in this instance, fighting for those extra yards, expose the ball. Dargan puts his helmet right there in his gut and pop the ball out. You gotta protect the football. He knows it. Maley knows it. You saw his head go down there.
Joey, how about the play, though, by Dargan? He was just hit with the personal foul, comes back, puts his hat on the ball, and Oregon covers up for a touchback in the end zone.
Boy, there's some redemption for you. The perfect placement of your helmet. You always want to put your helmet right on the ball. You want to stick it right there, put your face mask right on the laces to try and dislodge that thing. You got to give Maley a ton of credit for a great route.
Yes.
A great catch, for fighting for extra yards, but you have to secure the ball and you got to finish it.
He wanted that end zone. 58 takeaways since 2012. It's the most in the FBS. There's a big run. Marshall breaks it, throws his pads around, and is tackled at the 34-yard line. He was running behind his left guard, Manna Gregg, and picks up 14 yards.
Well, you mentioned it just there, Craig. People don't think about defense when they think of Oregon, but they led the country in takeaways last year with 40, and right now they're 8th. With 16, just making that 17 right now.
Mariota, flush from the pocket, taken down by the ankles. Ball comes out. Cougars say, well, they've got it.
Runners roll down. Second down.
Now to found his way to put some pressure on Mariota.
Really nice job by the secondary there of Washington State. Marcus sat in the pocket, sat, wanted to throw it downfield. Didn't have anybody out. Said he starts to run, but the ball hits the ground before it comes out.
Whistles are going to stop play as Marshall went to the heart of the Cougar front.
Previous play is under further review. Ruling on the field was the runner was down. The buzzer came prior to the snap.
Well, I don't think this review is going to change anything. Marcus getting tackled from behind, has control of it all the way down to the ground, and it wasn't until the ball hit the turf that it came dislodged.
The ball was still secured in his right hand. So upstairs again for a review to Fred Gallagher.
I'm sure they just want to be safe and make sure they've taken every look at it, but this one doesn't look to me as if it's going to be overturned.
Joey, actually a little longer look upstairs than I thought.
Well, from these reviews, from the views that we have of it, I don't see what they're looking at. I mean, this should be a pretty cut and dry move on to the next play review. But let's go back to why this play happened in the first place. Give a little bit of credit to the Washington State secondary. I mean, Marcus had all sorts of time to throw the ball, and he looked down the field. But great coverage from DeMonte Horton, great coverage from Daquan Brown. These corners are going to be tested. And right there, they passed the test. They did a great job of forcing Marcus to step up and run. Now they need to rely on their linebackers to rally to the ball and make a tackle when he starts to take off.
Now the review continues, and Joey, I'm thinking maybe they're going to switch this call. If it was cut and dry, we'd be playing football.
I don't see what they could possibly switch it on, though. Am I missing something?
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Oregon ball, second down.
So after about a 2-minute look, the play will stand. Well, Marcus Mariota goes back to work. 13 of 15, 202 yards. 50 yards on the ground. Here in the first half, clock runs up on 8 minutes to play. They'll take the snap from the shotgun. Stands, again pressured, but still the ball is released and through the hands of Huff. And Joey, a wide open Josh Huff.
That's one that Josh is going to go into the film room on Monday, and he's going to take a look at it, and he's going to be harsher on himself than any other coach could be because he had nothing but wide open grass in front of him. Maybe not grass, maybe wide open turf. You got to be correct, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Wide open artificial surface.
Have you noticed, though, there's more pressure now being let through? Washington State getting to Mariota. Again, pressure, ball comes out. Cougars wrap it up, 32-yard line.
You hit it right on the head there, Craig. Perfect timing. Washington State had been increasing the pressure they've been getting on Marcus. We've talked about, we've praised him for his composure in the pocket, but you can't stay composed when somebody's sitting on top of you.
This would be Mariota's first turnover this season. A near perfect campaign thus far. And the ball comes out, and Washington State will have it first down at the 33-yard line of Oregon.
Well, watch right there. Marcus has the ball hanging down low. When you're tight in that pocket, you need to keep two hands on it. Big opportunity for Washington State now. Halliday throws near side. Caught by Mason. They'll pick up a 4. There's the pressure coming off the side by Cooper. He's talking about it on the sideline, and as I mentioned, the first turnover of the season for Marcus. And I think you said the most important thing a minute ago, Craig, is there's no quitting this Washington State team. Not on their defense and getting pressure on Mariota, and not in their offense either.
They've seemed to settle in a little bit. Maybe they're a little quicker off the count, but they've been putting the heat on in the backfield. Now Halliday goes back to work. There's contact, no call, just inside the 20-yard line, and he wanted Dom Williams.
And that was a miscommunication right there between Dom Williams and Connor Halliday. Connor thought that Dom was going to give him a shake inside and stay up the sideline because he had one-on-one matchup out there. A wide receiver, when you're running a fade route, which is just a streak down the field, cannot go inside the defender. He has to stay outside and keep the defender on his inside hip.
Big play for the Cougars. 3rd down, 7. Halliday throws, tough throw, far side. It's caught. 1st down. Dom Williams comes right back. Big grab, move the chains, and a gain of 10.
Got to know what he did again. He threw that square out. Deep in the red zone. That is such a tough throw to make, and Connor Halliday has now done it twice without even blinking. You have so little room for error when you throw the ball like that in the red zone, and Connor put it right on the money. Fantastic throw in a pressure situation.
1st down, 3 wide, receivers near side. Halliday finding some rhythm here on this drive. Under 7 minutes left, second quarter. Up top, incomplete. Little timing pattern to the corner, and it falls incomplete.
And you know, I'm picking up on a theme here. Anytime Connor Halliday has one-on-one coverage outside, especially with his big receiver, Vince Mailey, he's going to take that shot. He's going to give it. He's going to throw the ball down the field. He needs to do a better job there of giving his receiver a chance to make the play. Sometimes you just got to throw that jump ball and let him go get it.
Their trip inside the red zone. They've come away with a touchdown and gave away a fumble.
Here it is again, Craig, right there.
Should be a free play. Nope, they're going to whistle this one dead. Movement on both sides of the ball.
Offside, defense, number 91, unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Well, you're seeing the nice pink hats tonight. Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And Oregon has come through in a big way. They're decked out in pink tonight, and a lot of the fans are as well. Duck Show blitz. Halliday throws, ball goes through a couple of hands, and it's incomplete inside the 5.
And those are the plays that Connor Halliday has to eliminate. He has to take care of the football. He's been fantastic up to this point tonight. And even though it's a short throw, it's a throw across your body, into the middle of the field, in traffic, in the red zone.
Joey, that's a ball that Mailey's got to make.
It is.
That's a catchable football.
It's a very catchable football, but it's still a dangerous throw.
Oh, listen to this crowd as they head into the end zone. 3rd down and 5. Halliday, quick slant, another catchable ball poked away, and it's incomplete. 4th down. Gabe Marks, the intended receiver, and the free safety, Avery Patterson, with a nice play.
Well, he put this ball right in his gut, put it right in his chest. And Gabe Marks needs to make that play, especially at a time when this Washington State team needs a touchdown. They can't settle for a field goal here. Well, that's shown by them going for it right now.
They need 5 yards to keep this drive alive. Listen in. Up top, touchdown, Craycraft. 12 yards, corner route, and Joey, a nice touch from Halliday.
This is the second time that he has thrown a beautiful ball into the corner of the end zone over the top of the defender, right in the breadbasket of his wide receiver. I can't say enough how impressed I am with Connor Halliday tonight. He's done a fantastic job and has just brought his team back down for a big touchdown.
We're making 27-14, and the point after is good. Craycraft, a true freshman, grabs his first touchdown as a Cougar. Over-the-shoulder catch. We got a game in Eugene. Halliday, 18-32 now for 219 yards. He's hit 9 different receivers, and Joey, he now has moved into a tie for 6th place with Tim Rosenbaugh. 39 career touchdown passes, and Mr. Bledsoe is next.
Well, I was going to say everybody above that pink line was a 4-year starter. Connor Halliday has only started 12 games in his career.
Josh Huff to the 23-yard line. The new season of The Ultimate Fighter is powerful, relentless, epic, and it's just getting started. Catch the show. Critics say delivers the goods, and see why they call Ronda Rousey and Miesha Tate the new best rivalry in sports. The Ultimate Fighter, all new. It's Wednesday at 10 Eastern, only on Fox Sports 1. Big touchdown by Washington State cuts this lead down to 27-14. Just over 6 minutes remaining in the first half. A total of 73 plays, Joey, so far in this first half. And no lack of offense. Mariota goes back to work. Chopped down at the 45 yard line. Remember, he ran one for 57 in the first quarter for Oregon's first score.
And a fantastic job of reading the option there. On the option play, you leave one defender unblocked, and he has to make the choice. Is he going to tackle the running back or the quarterback? And he took the running back, and Marcus pulled the ball and ran.
Quickly, Oregon goes back to work. Ball's out. Picked up. Fumble. Big fella rumbling, stumbling. It's Cooper. Touchdown, Cougars. Oh, the emotion of football.
And this crowd is stunned. But you know what happened here? For the second time tonight, Marcus is in the pocket, and watch the ball drop. One hand on the football there. When you're in the pocket, when you're under pressure, you got to get that second hand in there to secure it. Twice now, Marcus has been hit from behind when the ball is hanging low in one hand. He's got to secure the ball in the pocket.
That's the emotion from the Ducks. Xavier Cooper, the sophomore, pretty good move for a 300-pound big man to the end zone. And the PAT is good, and all of a sudden, this game has made a big turn. 27-21, Oregon at home, number 2 in the country, still on top, but the lead is only 6. Well, Cooper, a 300-pounder, just made this a 6-point game. Picked up the fumble, runs it in with 5:35 left in this first half.
Well, Cooper made it a 13-point game, and then he made it a 6-point game because he caused that fumble, the first fumble by Marcus Mariota as well.
Cougars kick away from the 35. Deep kick. 3 yards deep. Out comes Huff. Skips out of a tackle, but a flag is down. Holding is the call against Oregon. Well, Joey, momentum has swung Washington State's way. They've done it defensively with fumbles, forced fumbles, and fumble recoveries.
And it's been Xavier Cooper with the effort on the first fumble, and here taking advantage of the fumble caused by Daryl Monroe. And watch his teammate Califaconi Pole come in with the big block right there on Marcus, springing the big man into the end zone, because I don't know if he could have got there on his own. Need a little help from his friends there.
His Jets were maybe wearing out a little bit about the 5-yard line.
He was huffing and puffing.
Oregon goes back to work. Empty backfield. They reset. Quick toss near side. On the hands of Lowe. And he's to the 29-yard line. A pickup of 14.
That run after the catch is the epitome of what Keenan Lowe does for this team. Just effort. Effort on, as a receiver, effort on special teams. He's the guy that does not get the credit but does all the little things right.
Came in with 9 receptions, the junior out of Portland. Mariota again flush from the pocket. He's going to take it out of bounds. Smartly runs out of the 34. And he was chased by Daryl Paulo. Still a gain of 5 yards.
Coach Scott Frost told us yesterday that even when everything goes bad, Marcus has the ability to run and make something out of nothing. That's what's so great and so special about Marcus.
Thomas Tyner gets the ball. Little nifty move. Breaks it 50. Watch out. Could be the one. At the 25-20. Goodbye. Touchdown, Oregon.
The true freshman out of Portland, Oregon.
Hey, I got a little wow factor there.
Yeah.
66 yards.
Speed. Speed, speed, speed. He is not the shifty, make a cut in between the tackles guy, but as soon as he hits that edge, he is gone. A 10-300 in high school. You're not going to be catching him.
Maldonado with a chip shot, and the PAT good. Joey, I was a moment away from asking how you thought Oregon would respond after the turn of momentum and emotion. Well, they just turned it back their way.
You know what the interesting thing is? Oregon never cares about momentum. They never care about time of possession. And what a block. We just talked about Keenan Lowe a moment ago. Keenan Lowe with the block that springs Thomas Tyner coming in from the outside. Wham! Right there on Dayon Buchanan. Keenan Lowe does all the little things that nobody notices. It's about time he got a little bit of credit, because that block right there sprung Thomas Tyner for a huge momentum-saving touchdown.
You know what, they say that's a nomination for the one. I'm going to go ahead and just give it to him. 66-yard run.
Do you have that authority?
You know what, I just stamped my
You just
approval.
took it.
How about 3 plays, and again, the strike of 55 seconds.
It's kind of a long drive.
3 plays, 85 yards. 34-21 Ducks. Deep kick on a knee, 5 yards deep. Hey, we're coming up on halftime. Let's get it out to Rob Stone for a preview in LA.
Coming up on the Pizza Hut halftime show, the sights from this season's first Top 5 showdown. It was upsets galore in the SEC, and UCLA looks for some revenge versus Stanford. We'll see you at the break.
Well, it's going to be a show of upsets, because that's basically the word of the day in college football.
Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, LSU. Am I forgetting anybody? UCLA.
Yes. First loss of the season for the Bruins. Up top, wide open. What a catch on the hands of Maley. What a big target. 6'3", 240-pounder. A senior, a transfer from Sierra College. And he has come on, as I mentioned, big time over the last 3 ball games.
And a lot of times when you get a guy with that size, you just use him as a red zone, go up and get a jump ball target. But he got down the field and got by Ifo Ekpreolemu, one of the best corners in the country.
DeAndre Caldwell, the lone back alongside Halliday. Connor wants to throw, man open, right on the hands at the 35-yard line. And the catch for 16 yards. And Gabe Marks, he was one of Mike Leach's top recruits in Leach's first recruiting class. In his sophomore season, he has really come on.
Well, yeah, you show why. Shows right there why he was one of Mike Leach's top recruits, going back behind his body to make that catch.
First down, Cougars, quick throw near side. It's just pitch and catch right now as Isaiah goes past the 25 to the 22 and a half. 12 yards. Right now, Halliday with rhythm, with confidence. And they're picking apart the secondary of Oregon.
Yeah, unshaken by that long touchdown run by Thomas Tyner. Connor Halliday, we've said it all day, is doing a fantastic job and has just grabbed the momentum back and put it back in his Washington State Cougars pocket.
Under 4 minutes left, another quick throw far side as Washington State is spreading the field. This time Oregon jumps on it, and they jump on Dom Williams. Avery Patterson, the free safety, a 3-year letterman, with the tackle. Big drive as the clock is rolling up on 3 minutes in the first half. Second down 9. As you look at Halliday and into the eyes of this junior from Spokane, Washington. Quick throw, timing pattern, lobs it up for grabs. His receiver fell down, intercepted. Oregon's got it. Or did he step out of bounds?
Well, this is the second time, Craig, that Maley has had an unfortunate thing happen to him in the red zone.
Stepped out.
Two drives ago, Maley reaching for the goal line, fumbled the ball. Washington State got no points out of it. This time he just gets his feet tangled up with Ifo Ekpreolemu and falls down and doesn't even give his quarterback a chance to knock that down. It was an easy interception by Ifo.
Halliday is a talented player, tries to sometimes squeeze the ball through the window, and for the 10th straight time, 10th straight game, Joey, an interception thrown by Halliday. Marshall dances out of trouble to the 26-yard line, a pickup of 6.
You know what, Craig? I'm not going to give that one to Connor. That one's going to go on his stat sheet, but I'm not giving that one to him. That was just, he made the right decision, threw the right ball, and that it was unfortunate that his receiver's feet got tangled up.
Marshall stopped and still on second effort. Tell you what makes backs great, yards after contact.
Both of these guys, Byron Marshall and Thomas Tyner, are strong backs.
First down, quick throw, far side. And sliding out of bounds is the tight end, Johnny Munt.
How about Johnny Munt coming onto the scene here? Colt Lyerla leaves the team a couple weeks ago. Pharaoh Brown was injured during camp, and Johnny Munt essentially took every single rep, and as a true freshman has come through big for the Ducks this year.
Brown back healthy after injuring a foot, as you mentioned, in fall camp. Play action, Mariota, quick throw. What a release as he finds Braylon Addison. Addison's a great story. He was a quarterback in high school. He's a little lighter this year, about 10 pounds, and able to move quite well.
Well, Coach Frost said that he finally learned how to play the wide receiver position and has emerged as a huge playmaker for Oregon.
Up top, deep ball. Incomplete at the 20-yard line. Josh Huff, the intended receiver. Downstairs we go. Here's Ryan.
Correct, Joey. Marcus Mariota was on the sidelines right before this drive, telling all his offensive guys, hey guys, let's keep it going. We're doing a great job. This is his chance to continue to show his leadership. He's becoming more and more of a vocal leader, and that's what the coaches want from him. And now he's out there playing well and distributing the ball and leading this drive. Hopefully he can put points on the board.
Ron, we had a great talk with Marcus yesterday. He is quiet, but yet leads with a roar at times as well. Just his presence on the field. This team responds. A quick throw, far side. Addison with another grab to the 45-yard line, a pickup of 3.
Well, it's hard not to follow a guy like Marcus. He's had so much success at a young age, yet stayed so humble.
He's not even 20.
Not even 20 years old, you're right.
How about those numbers here in the first half? Another quick throw, far side. Ball knocked out of the hands of Addison. Good hit by Daquan Brown.
Watch Daquan Brown drive this. Marcus throws the ball a little bit on the back shoulder, but that play was made by the freshman Daquan Brown. Very confident young player. A couple interceptions this year already. 4 pass breakups. He leads the team. This guy's not afraid to put his head in there and mix it up.
Played at Dorsey High School in Los Angeles. Mariota pressured, throws, oh my, wide open. Marshall, 20, 15, down to the 13. Ball pops out. I did not hear a whistle. And they're going to give the ball back to Washington State.
What a huge play by Washington State's defense. We're about to say what a great play.
First down, Washington State.
We're about to say what a great play this was by Marcus Mariota. Buying time in the pocket and finding his running back out of the backfield. But instead, Washington State, there he is, Dayon Buchanan.
Yeah, just ripped it right out of his hands, and the ball fell on his numbers.
There is no quit in this Washington State team, Craig. There are a lot of teams out there that would have rolled over already, but they are continuing to fight.
2 timeouts left for Washington State. They go back to work on a dump into the middle of the field to Mason. He was knocked down by Hardrick, the middle linebacker, number 48.
And this is just pure effort.
Right there, the strip by Buchanan.
The leading tackler in the Pac-12 right now, showing why as he's getting his head in there on all sorts of plays.
Off the edge on a cutback. Mason a first down to the 24-yard line, a pickup of 6.
And there it is, Craig. Washington State doesn't run often, but they use it very sporadically, and they're efficient. They're efficient running the football, getting 6 yards there and moving the chains.
There is a telling stat. 3 turnovers tonight. They have protected the ball so well throughout the first half of this season. That ball just simply overthrown by Holiday. And it falls incomplete. Stops the clock. 26 seconds remaining first half.
Well, that last turnover Well, every turnover is big, but that last one was especially, because if Oregon had gone in to score there, now you're looking at 41-21 coming out to start the second half, and Oregon's going to get the ball as Washington State started this ball game with the ball.
Holiday settles down in the pocket, throws to the flat. Mason the catch to the 30. 6 yards.
Timeout. Oregon. Timeout number 1. 30-second timeout.
And a timeout. Make sure you stay close. Pizza Hut halftime report. ACC top 5 showdown. Upsets. Oh yes, in the SEC. And we'll take a look at UCLA Stanford.
Third down 4 for the Cougars on their own 30.
Third down and 4. Oregon 34. Washington State 21. Many believe this would be a lopsided win for the powerful Oregon Ducks. But you have said it more than once tonight. Washington State's defense has really given the Cougars opportunity more than once tonight.
They fought hard.
Flags out.
Offside, defense by contact, number 92. 5-yard penalty, yardage gained by foul, results in a first down.
Kayla Ikipi, number 92. Hard to stop 300 pounds coming across the line. And that moves the chains in a first down. Oregon playing soft in the secondary, not allowing the big play. They go to the sideline with Mason, stops the clock, 13 seconds left.
What a nice catch. Down by his shins, goes down and snags it, and still has the presence of mind to hit the sideline and stop the clock. That could be a costly penalty by Oregon. It gave Washington State a first down. 13 seconds, maybe get a couple quick passes to the sideline and get yourself in field goal range.
Already 40 attempts by Holiday. Joey, he averages 48. He's on his way to an 80 attempt night as he dumps it out to Marks, and again he hops out of bounds at the 45. 7 seconds left to play.
Well, that's exactly the situation now. Now you've got 7 seconds, and if you can throw that square out maybe that Connor has done so well tonight, get to the sideline, get out of bounds, and sneak into field goal range.
Well, Fernie has hit 9 of 11, and his longest is 46. Right now they're at the 45-yard line with 7 ticks. They need a big play here. That ball is on the hands and out of bounds. Marks at the 32-yard line.
And that's exactly what they did.
Wow.
Connor Halliday has thrown that square out so well tonight.
I talked about Fernie. His longest of 46. He's going to get a shot at it with 2 seconds on the clock. They'll place it at the 40-yard line. Officially, this will be a 49-yard attempt. It will be a 49-yarder just inside the 40 on the near hash. Good snap, good hold, kicks off. Got it! From 49! It's a 10-point game in Eugene. It's halftime. 34-24 Oregon. Let's take you now to Rob Stone in LA for the Pizza Hut halftime report.
I will have one Joey Harrington, please.
All right, you got it.
One of the great things about playing here is they name a sandwich after you. Mine, manly, super manly. Roast beef, salami, cheese, pastrami, just stacked high on a bun. Oh, it's amazing. What's this?
So that's a peanut butter and shallot sandwich. Joey Harrington.
What do I do after that?
Oh, what did you do? What happened
I
to the
realized
beef?
that it was
Where's the beef?
Yeah, Dan Fouts gets the turkey and bacon and avocado. Aaron Brooks gets the pastrami and mozzarella. I get PBJ.
And you get the peanut
Yeah.
butter. Hey, let's talk about this first half. 800-plus yards of offense, 97 plays combined. and Oregon gets the ball to start the third quarter.
Well, yeah, the number of plays and the situation we're in right now is caused by that Washington State defense.
Yes.
Forced 3 turnovers. Cooper has done a great job of just staying after plays, causing the fumble, returning the second one for a touchdown. The Washington State defense has really facilitated their offense, which has made a couple costly turnovers there right at the goal line and in the end zone. They're doing a great job of keeping this Washington State offense, which can strike at any time, in the ballgame.
And a big welcome back as Fox College football continues, presented by Geico. Sellout crowd, 54,000 on hand tonight. And look at these numbers. And Joey, as you know, sometimes it takes a couple of football games, or at least 6 quarters of football, to put numbers like this together.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, what is it, like over 700 yards of offense? Over 800 yards of offense. I mean, these guys are just putting the ball all over the place. The difference here, though, is Oregon is throwing the ball and they're running the ball. Washington State's yardage is essentially purely through the air, and Connor Halliday, after a fourth quarter that I'm sure he would rather forget last week against Oregon State, where he had 3 interceptions, has come back today and thrown the ball with an extreme amount of confidence.
So we start the second half. It's a 10-point game, 34-24. A first half of turnovers and opportunities taken by the Cougars to make it a ball game. Here we go. Good kick. Oregon's going to bring it out. 3 yards deep. Josh Huff spins out of a tackle, stacked up, still running. He was at the 22-yard line. They're going to knock him down at the 19. Let's go downstairs, and Ryan, I don't know about you, I was a little disappointed in that Joey Harrington sandwich.
I was a little disappointed too at halftime. I went and ordered a Joey Harrington sandwich because I was a little bit hungry, but I also had a chance to talk to both coaches. I talked to Coach Leach from Washington State. He said, I just want to keep things status quo, keep doing what we're doing. Coach Helfrich, he said, hey, we got to eliminate the mental mistakes and we got to run on defense to slow down this Washington State offense.
So let's see how this turns out. 14:52 left. Here we go. First offensive series of the third quarter, and it goes off to Marshall, right side. Breaks it. 50. Still on his feet. And out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
And that is the difference that we talked about just a moment ago between what Washington State has done so far and what Oregon has done so far. Both teams can throw the ball at will, but Oregon has the added dimension of being able to run it as well. 2 fantastic young running backs in the backfield.
How about a gain of 37 yards on the opening play? Back to the middle of the field they go with Marshall. He'll pick up 3, maybe 4 to the 39-yard line.
Second down 6.
I got a new word, bounceability, outside. It's amazing the ability of these running backs, Joey, to be stacked up and then have that ability to go back and bounce it to the outside.
Well, it speaks to the ability of the offensive linemen to stay on their blocks and get downfield.
Mariota pressured much of that second quarter, feels the heat again as Palacio was bringing some heat from the Buck linebacker position, number 40. I don't know if Marcus has felt this much heat all season long.
Washington State's front 7 is doing a very nice job of getting pressure on Marcus. They started out early kind of slow, and they've just kind of ratcheted up the pressure as this game has gone on. But I think that comes from the confidence in creating those turnovers.
Mariota rides it back. Second, third effort.
Marshall carries, brought down by Sagote.
Marshall again with the ball, picks up 5 and hit down by Sagote, the weak side linebacker.
Down 1 at the 34.
So you have to wrap up on this Oregon backfield. There's another missed tackle, and what was a 5-yard gain turns out to be 11, and another first down.
Oregon doesn't even hesitate there on 4th and short, just gets up and runs the football.
Well, they got bounce ability, they got break ability.
Yeah, they do.
Mariota to the flat, out to Tyner, breaks it, stutter step, puts the pads down to the 10-yard line, and Tyner just took on safety, free and strong. Buchanan and Sagote, the linebacker.
How many true freshmen are you going to see drop their shoulder into an all Pac-12 safety?
High snap, taken down, toss it near side, stiff arm, low, touchdown, Oregon. How about that series? Mark Helfrich, Scott Frost, the offensive coordinator, I'm sure, had some words of encouragement in the locker room, and Oregon comes out and blasts into the end zone.
Well, here's what broke this touchdown right here. Daryl Hawkins and Braylon Addison getting two very nice blocks. It was a simple numbers game. Oregon had 3 receivers out there. Washington State had 2 defenders. They blocked them, and Keenan walked into the end zone.
PAT is good by Wogan.
Hey, Craig, you ordered a sandwich. I heard you had a sandwich named after you as well.
Really?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Hey, I like to have the Craig Bowler Jack.
All right, you got it.
All right, thank you. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Oh, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Well, fans are rocking in Eugene tonight, 41-24. The Ducks on top of the Washington State Cougars. And how about some baseball news just in? Yes, Boston on their way to the World Series. ALCS belongs to the Red Sox. They knock off Detroit tonight 5-2. They will battle the Cardinals of St. Louis in the World Series. And you'll see that series here on Fox. Kick at the goal line. Galvin spins to the 22-yard line. Well, the most consecutive games with a pass for a touchdown, a rush for a touchdown in the BCS era, and Marcus Mariota is closing in on Tebow and just past Colin Kaepernick.
Well, he's some pretty elite company right there. Colin has had a lot of success earlier in his NFL career, and Tim Tebow, arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play college football. Pretty elite company.
Well, let's see how Washington State responds after that opening touchdown here in the third quarter by Oregon. They toss the ball out. Craycraft, who had a touchdown in the first half of play with the reception, and they'll mark him at the 30-yard line, a pickup of 8 yards.
You know, the more Marcus continues to play like this, the more he's going to be talked about for the Heisman Trophy, the more that's going to be, more hype is going to be put on him.
We asked him about that particularly yesterday, Joey. He handles it with ease and grace. He says, look, I depend on my parents and my coaches. Doesn't think much about it. Halliday, middle of the field on the hands of Craycraft. He's got the first down and pushes to the 35, call it the 36-yard line. Nice gain of 6. You know, I remember this time last year, a guy named Geno Smith was basically given the Heisman.
That's right.
And one thing about this young man, he understands the pressures, the ups and downs, Joey, of college football.
Remember, he's 19 years old.
Yeah, didn't shy away from the talk or the pressure, but he understands. Halliday to the air. Oh, dangerous throw, incomplete. Caldwell, the intended receiver, and Joey, you can see Terrence Mitchell in his mind was thinking a pick 6.
Oh, he was closing fast. That's a tough ball from one hash mark all the way to the other side of the field. It's a long throw, and it gives the defensive back a lot of time to recover while the ball is in the air.
Mitchell already with 3 interceptions this season, the junior out of Sacramento. Second down 10. Halliday, middle of the field. Ooh, hammer was thrown on Ratliff. They'll pick up a 7.
Well, Casey Locker getting in here and making a tackle. A name you don't hear very often in the Oregon secondary, with guys like Avery Patterson and Brian Jackson rolling through.
Crowd comes alive on 3rd down and 3. Quick throw. Caught at the 49-yard line. Galvin with the catch. And a gain of 6 and moved the chains. Fresh downs for the Cougars.
excuse me, just a moment ago, it was Derek Malone making that tackle, number 22 for Oregon. But it speaks to how many different players on this Oregon defense are in the mix. Coach Aliotti said they're going to roll 22, 23, 24 guys through this defense, keeping guys fresh, and they tell them, you know what? Go play full speed. We'll sub for you and put you right back in.
Mike Leach loads up the near side with 3 wide receivers. Halliday stands up in the pocket, throws a ball middle of the field. That ball is intercepted. Patterson, the free safety, still on his feet and knocked down and out at the 39.
And Craig, Connor Halliday is hurting right now. He took a shot in that pocket.
Joey, harassed, I think, is the word all night long.
Watch this. He just gets driven to the ground. But you know what, Connor? Should not have thrown this football. This was late down the middle of the field. You know what? That may have been a Ricky Havili-Amuli. Possibly could have been flagged for a late takedown of Connor Halliday there.
Havili-Amuli, number 90. He's one of those 6 defensive front players that...
After the play, sportsman taunting of Washington State, number 77. 15-yard penalty, down as 1.
Well, Joey, maybe you miss a flag on one end, but Washington State hurts themselves on the other. That 97, Destiny Viau.
Yeah, and that's a very costly turn of events. What could have been a penalty against Oregon turns into a poor decision by Connor Halliday to throw that ball late down the middle of the field. It's intercepted, and then Washington State gets a 15-yarder on top of that.
Well, the interception bug has bitten Halliday throughout his career. Marshall hits the edge, wiggles out of one tackle, and takes it out of bounds at the 40-yard line. 6 yards on the carry.
Brought down at the 40 by Anthony Carpenter. With a 6, and down 4.
Second down 4. 3 wide receivers up top to the ground. 1 tackle broken and another. Marshall, big night as he rolls up 10 yards. Downstairs to Ryan.
Joey and Craig, we saw that turnover by Connor Halliday. And one of the things that gets him in trouble is when he starts pressing. We talked about it in the meetings. He has to do a better job of controlling his emotions and understanding I can't push the ball down the field. Even if I took a sack right there, that's better than turning the ball over.
That's a good point, Ryan.
How about Marshall, Joey? 17 carries, 146 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Mariota wants the deep ball over the middle, incomplete.
Hey, Craig, going back to what Ryan said, this Washington State receiving core is full of very good players. Very, very good receivers, but they don't have that one breakaway guy, the one guy to stretch the defense, and so consequently you have to chunk and chunk all the way down the field, and Connor has tried to force it at times like he did there.
Big hole, stiff arm, Marshall into the end zone for the 3rd time tonight.
And that's how quickly one mistake can hurt you. What has been a fantastic performance tonight by Connor Halliday. He makes one mistake and Oregon turns it into 7 points the other direction. Byron Marshall has done a fantastic job filling in for the injured DeAnthony Thomas over the last 4 games, going over 100 yards in each of them. Really using his opportunity to step into the spotlight and show people that he's a pretty darn good back himself.
Alejandro Molinado with the PAT. 2 series in this 3rd quarter, 2 touchdowns by Oregon. What a night Marshall is having. Runs it in for his 3rd touchdown. Welcome back to Eugene. Homecoming crowd of 54,000. Oregon has doubled up the Cougars, 48-24, 9:30 left to play in this 3rd quarter. Galvin takes the kick, stumbles, and a flag's out. 2 flags, far side in the middle of the field, a return of 27. Busy night for Jay Strickers and his crew. Here's the call.
2 fouls on the play, both on the return team. Holding, number 86, that penalty's declined. Holding, number 32, that penalty's enforced 10 yards. Down will be 1.
Don't forget, Fox Sports 1 starts off your Sunday mornings with Fox NFL Kickoff as the guys get you up to speed on all that's happening around the league. And then turn over to Fox to catch America's #1 pregame show, Fox NFL Sunday, where Randy Moss will sit down with Bears receiver Brandon Marshall. You'll get more football tomorrow beginning at 11 a.m. Eastern, only on Fox Sports and Fox. Cougars start at the 15. Quick throw, far side on the hands of Maley. Nice gain of 9. They'll be 2nd and 1. Joey's an old quarterback. How do you approach 2nd and 1? Is that a free play?
That's, you know what? 2nd and 1 is the time that you take a shot. That's the time if you get all the defenders loaded up into the box to stop the run, and you see a matchup that you like outside, take that shot down the field.
We'll see what Mike Leach gives Connor Halliday.
Connor Halliday's got both corners. Oh, there they go. They rolled out into a 2 safety look.
Dump it over the middle. Stop and go. Swarmed under at the 27-yard line. Ricky Galvin, a pickup of 3. And they'll move the chains for a first down. You look at tonight's Washington State leaders. Halliday, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Big night of 355 yards on 50 pass attempts. Not much of a ground game. 81 yards on 6 catches for Gabe Martz.
And that's it right there, the 2 interceptions. Washington State has forced Oregon into uncharacteristic turnovers, and they needed to take advantage of that. Twice they've given the ball away, and it's proved costly.
Quick throw on the far side of the field. 5 yards to the 31. Dom Williams with the reception. 61 plays, 351 total offense, 623 for Oregon, Joey. That's 11 yards and change a touch tonight for the Ducks.
Well, that's the rush. That's the difference of Oregon's running game. Washington State is a one-dimensional team that will splash in a couple runs. Oregon can beat you both ways. You can't prepare for both.
Caldwell didn't fool anyone on that run. No gain.
This front 7 for Oregon has not got the credit that it deserves up to this point in the season. #1 in the Pac-12 in total defense, 17th nationally. #1 in scoring defense and 6th nationally. This Oregon defense is often overshadowed by the high-powered offense, but these guys are doing a fantastic job this year.
Washington State came in averaging just over 66 yards a game on the ground. Another quick throw, tough pass, and it's caught for a first down. Vince Maley. We talk about the window. Halliday's window was not very big, and he squeezed it through.
Boy, did he ever. A lot of quarterbacks, after throwing an interception, will come back and get conservative. They'll try to avoid that mistake and consequently turn the ball over again. Connor Halliday is almost the exact opposite. He just comes out firing even more and put that ball smack in the middle of his receiver's chest.
Now, he has to have a very short memory to play this game. There's a run up the gut, 45-yard line by Mason. How about 6 yards on that carry?
And that's what Washington State does running the football. Mason averages 4.5 yards a carry. Jeremiah LaFausa averages 6 yards a carry. Teandre Caldwell, 5.5 yards a carry. These guys they're efficient. They don't do it often, but when they sprinkle it in, they get themselves 5 or 6 yards a pop.
2nd down, 4. Quick throw. First down, middle of the field. Isaiah Myers, a pickup of 7. It's a methodical drive. They're mixing in the run just a little bit, trying to keep Oregon, Joey, off balance.
Well, at a certain point, you gotta score quick. You know, it's tick, tick, tick with this clock now down to 6 minutes, and you got to get 24 points in a hurry.
Halliday with a first down at the 48 of Oregon. Another quick throw, near side. Isaiah Meyer stays in bounds. That's a pickup of 3. Terrence Mitchell, number 27, with it stopped. Halliday, 55 attempts. Joey, you remember your attempt? How many attempts, your highest in a game?
Not many at Oregon. I threw it 62 times once for the Dolphins, but I was blessed to have 2 great running backs behind me.
Halliday's going to bypass your Dolphin numbers. There's 56 attempts, and he picks up another first down. Gabe Marks with the grab, and another tackle by Mitchell.
I love Gabe Marks' energy, his excitement, his fire right there. You know what? This team, we said it all night, they're still fighting. They're not going to roll over and just go away. This Washington State team is going to keep throwing the ball. They're going to keep trying to score. I like that energy from Gabe Marks.
He's got 53 receptions now on the season, over 600 yards. First and 10, 35-yard line of Oregon. Maybe a yard for Mason.
You know, here's the difference between Washington State and Oregon. Oregon scores in 55 seconds, a minute 13, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Whereas Washington State, because they don't have that big play guy, they've got a lot of very good receivers. They don't have that big play threat down the field. They throw slants, they throw quick screens, and they're putting together 10-play drives here, which are great, but it's taken up a lot of time on the clock.
Up top, picked off. Derek Malone. Oh, hello. Right alongside that Washington State bench. Halliday tosses up another one. Oregon brings it down. 4:05 left in the third.
Watch here on the interception. Wide receiver is going to come in and try and get a block. Malone goes over the top instead of getting blocked up here, which puts him in a perfect position to make this interception. Had he run into the screen of the wide receiver, Marcus Mason would have been running untouched up the sideline, and instead, great play getting through the traffic by Derek Malone.
Well, the Pink's telestrator tonight, of course, in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Pink helmets on the Oregon Ducks. Mariota dances, runs out of bounds smartly to save himself for another play at the 34-yard line. A pickup of 9.
And again, Washington State's front 7 getting into the backfield and forcing Marcus to get out and run. There's no quit in this Cougar defense.
Incomplete. In and out of the hands right at the 43-yard line. Josh, check that. It's Addison. Short yardage, first down. Tyner. Past the 45, 12 yards on the carry to the 47.
We've got a chance to see Thomas Tyner a lot more tonight because of the injury to DeAnthony Thomas, but this young man, boy, he has some tremendous potential. In one game in high school last year, ran for over 600 yards and 10 touchdowns. That's a career. That's a season for a lot of high school running backs. He did it in one game.
Stop and go, Tyner. Very few backs can make that move. Wow. Let's get a check from Ryan Neese.
Craig and Joey, one of the things that Washington State did a great job in the first half was creating turnovers. Their defensive line, especially guys like Xavier Cooper, were getting to the quarterback, creating sack fumbles. They got to find a way to harass this quarterback, Marcus Mariota. Easier said than done, but if they can do that, they give themselves a chance to get their offense back the ball.
Now, Ron, good point. That was a difference maker in the second quarter. when Washington State was able to get back in the ball game. Nauta comes out for Washington State, the nose tackle. Second down. Just under 3 minutes left in the third. Off the hand of Tyner. A rare incompletion tonight, Joy, for Marcus Mariota.
Well, and it looked like it was thrown in the right spot. A young running back coming in needs to learn not just how to run the ball and find holes, but he has to learn his protections. He has to learn his routes. In this Oregon offense, you're going to be counted on to do a lot.
Again, Tyner with that stop and go ability, trying to get to the edge, and he's knocked down at the 49-yard line. He'll lose a couple of yards. He's come a long way since fall camp. He had an ankle issue, missed some time, but he's caught on. As Scott Frost told us, the offensive coordinator has come on and really understood this offense.
It's tough for a freshman to come in. It's tough for a freshman, even a five-star guy like Thomas Tyner, to come in and have an impact in what's a pretty complicated Oregon offense.
Maldonado will punt. End over end. Brooks at the 16. And driven back. He'll be marked at the 22 on his forward progress. A 34-yard boot. Under 2 minutes left in the third. Oregon having their way. 48-24.
Human resources. Hostile takeover. CEO. Drugs Incorporated. Go inside the billion-dollar industry. New episodes Sundays at 9 on National Geographic.
Oh yeah, a little steamy here tonight in Eugene. Oh, you love it. The big fellas are working hard. Ryan Neese, very impressive tonight by Mr. Buchanan. This Washington State defense, very physical.
Dale Buchanan has been all over the field tonight for Washington State. This defense has not quit. A big hitter has been a rock for this Washington State defense tonight.
Over the middle, Marks to the 31-yard line, a pickup of 10. Buchanan does not hesitate to lay the pad right on top of you.
Not at all, and there was a huge tackle on that last drive there, getting Thomas Tyner out in the open field, which is a tough thing to do. He got the ball back for this Washington State offense, and now it's their job to drive down and try and get something going here. If you're going to salvage this game, you got to do it right now.
First and 10. Swinging out of the backfield on the hands of Caldwell. And he's stacked up. He'll lose a yard or two. Hey, Ryan Neese, every time I look at Buchanan, I think maybe that's the way you hit in college and the pros, right?
That's exactly right, Craig. I get excited when I watch number 20 Buchanan fly around. And one of the things I love is when he hits you, he drops you. He drives his feet. His technique is sound, and you got to love that as a defensive player. He continues to show up. Every time I watch film, this guy's all over the place. You got to be excited as a defensive coordinator to have a guy like that in your secondary running around making plays for you.
Absolutely. Does not shy away. He helped spark the comeback in the second. Maybe he's got something left in the fourth quarter. Halliday settles in the pocket, throws again. Tight window. It's incomplete. Joey, I tell you, I call you the gunslinger. Halliday is a true modern-day gunslinger.
Yes, he is, and we saw just there, he is not afraid to throw the ball into a tight window. At a certain point, there has to be, I call it a little bit of a conscience. You got to make the decision that it's not quite smart to throw that ball in there. Sometimes you're going to make big plays, but sometimes you're going to turn the ball over. And in a situation like this, when you have to score a touchdown right here, you need to protect the ball.
They're down in 12. Oregon fans letting it roar tonight. Flag. Halliday up top. Double coverage, and it's incomplete at the 50-yard line. Galvin, the intended receiver. That was the 61st attempt thrown tonight by Halliday.
Offside. Defense. Number 9 moved into the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
And that was a great job of recognizing the situation. Connor Halliday knew that he had a free play since he saw the flag come out right there. Caught the defense in the neutral zone, knew that he could take a shot. He had a free play. Great job of recognizing it and trying to take advantage.
Now third down and 7. 7 flags, 60 yards whistled against Oregon tonight. Halliday. Out of the pocket, throws. Out of bounds, incomplete. Coverage. Terrific coverage downfield by the Ducks.
It really was. This secondary for Oregon, I think, is the best in the Pac-12. Ifo Ekweolumu, an All-American last year. On the other side, Terrence Mitchell was an all-conference player last year. Just look at him, locked up. Nowhere for Connor to go.
Bowling will punt inside the 25. Short kick. Oh, makes a kick back. Takes an Oregon bounce. And the Ducks will have it field position at the 45. Just a 21-yard punt, but a flag on the far side of the field.
Illegal motion on the offense. 5-yard headed on to the end of the kick. First down.
Final seconds of the third when we come back. Stay close on Fox Sports 1. Back in Eugene, homecoming for the Ducks, and they are up 48-24 on Washington State. Oregon 6-0, 3-0 in Pac-12 play. Washington State improved from a year ago, Joey, 4-3, 2-2 in the conference. Marshall trying to run out of the pile. That's going to run out the first half, or pardon me, the third quarter. 15 minutes remaining. And a shootout, 48-24, number 2 Oregon on top. Back in Eugene, oh, they are having fun. They are having fun. Remember that great rendition, Otis Day and the Nights, from Animal House?
Filmed right here in Eugene. Otis, of course. Otis remembers us. He'll love us. My man.
Here they go. Well, it's college football at its best. 15 minutes left. Number 2 ranked Oregon 48. Washington State 24. On the ground. Big hole. Marshall continues to add to his career night. A pickup of 11 yards. $179 yards for Brian Marshall. He averages 92. He's working on a 200-yard night.
Well, the only reason he averages 92 is because he played second fiddle to Anthony Thomas the first couple of games. Since he's been the featured back, he's gone for over 100 yards.
There's Thomas. This will be his 4th game. He was injured on that opening kickoff against Cal nearly a month ago. Mariota throws one to the far side, first down to the 24-yard line. Time for a Lowe's Never Stop Improving game break. Let's check in with Patrick O'Neill.
All right, let's take you to Tucson. Other Pac-12 action. Utah at Arizona. B.J. Danker rolling out southpaw, guns it to Nate Phillips' 7-yard touchdown. And, well, Utah would add a field goal. It's now 28-24. Utes, big win over Stanford. We'll see if they have any magic left. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Patrick. That's the key, how Utah, Joey, would respond after that emotional win against Stanford, who bounced back today, mind you, against the Bruins of UCLA. See, right now, the Pac-12's kind of beating up on each other.
When you have so many teams at the top, Oregon, UCLA, Washington, Stanford, it's going to happen.
Mariota flushed from the pocket, wants to throw, does. Leaping in, my goodness, Huff, 17 yards. Like he jumped off a trampoline.
Again, Marcus Mariota's ability to extend the play. The Washington State D-line doing a good job getting into the backfield, but it's Marcus break and contain, keeping his eyes down the field and finding a wide open Josh Huff. Josh Huff's an athlete now. This guy is a big, strong, powerful wide receiver.
Point after is good. And now Oregon extends their lead to 55-24. 6 plays, 50 yards, and they find the end zone again. We look at tonight's game summary brought to you by Ford Service. 371 on the ground for Oregon, 2 for the Cougars. Halliday with nearly 400 yards passing, but again, 3 interceptions. And Tyner's had a big night along with Marshall. Last week, you remember Halliday had the 3 picks in the 4th quarter against Oregon State. Short kick at the 10-yard line. Galvin. Nice return back to the 31-yard line of 23 yards. There's Scott Frost, offensive coordinator. He was a quarterback from Nebraska. They won the '97 national championship in the NFL. 7 years, teammate of Mr. Neese on the '03 Buccaneers. There were some stories exchanged, by the way, yesterday that we cannot repeat.
In both directions. Scott told us some about Ryan. Ryan has told us some about Scotty.
Well, of course there are some stories. We're good friends. We had travel buddies.
Halliday goes back to work and a big hill to climb up top. That ball poked away. And Craycraft was the intended receiver. Ryan, your chance now to give us a little bit more insight just on the coaching ability, seriously, of Scott Frost. He really has a handle on what's happening here.
He really does, and I'll tell you, Craig and Joey, his football IQ is off the charts. He grew up in a family. His mom and dad both coached high school on the same team. They both coached high school. He was coached by Bill Balcells, Bill Belichick, Bill Walsh. I mean, the guy has been around and some great, great coaches. Tom Osborne at Nebraska. He's learned from some of the best coaches of all time, and he's continued to grow in his own understanding of the game with under Chip Kelly, and now has the opportunity to call plays here at Oregon. He's doing a great job, and he's relishing this opportunity, trust me.
And Ryan, what you just described is how you become a future head coach in college football.
You're absolutely right. You become it by becoming a student of the game, understanding him. Obviously, he played at a very high level in the NFL, but he has a passion for the game, and he loves trying to educate the guys, not only at becoming great football players, but becoming great men as well.
Halliday, ball tipped, intercepted for the 4th time. Terrence Mitchell, watch out! Could be, it is the one! Touchdown, Oregon! 51 yards. Joey, take your pick of big plays tonight in this game.
Well, I think you saw right there, Gabe Marks pointing to himself, saying that one was on me. Put his hand out there, tipped the ball up in the air. And Terrence Mitchell was the received a gift and then used his athletic ability to get it into the end zone.
High snap, kicks up, and good. Oregon. Oh, what a second half. 62-24. Well, experience the emotional journey of one of baseball's all-time greats through devastating injury in the final days of his remarkable career. Bean Mariano. It premieres tomorrow on Fox with a special encore presentation Tuesday, right here on Fox Sports 1. Number 42 in pinstripes. Oh, yes, it was a career. Five-yard line. Galvin for the 24-yard line, a 20-yard return. Oregon has put 62 points on the board. They put 66 up in week 1, Joey. So far this season, the Ducks averaging just under 57 points a game.
Oregon and Baylor are the two schools that really just seem to score at will in the country right now.
Both with quick strike ability. And you're right, when it's almost at will. Halliday goes back to throw and completes to Dom Williams. A gain of 7 yards. How would you like to see, though, a Baylor-Oregon matchup? Oh, my. We've seen Baylor 3 times this year. Bryce Petty quarterbacking the Bears. Mariota quarterbacking the Ducks. Mason on a swing pass and out of bounds close to a first down.
Mason, run out by Tyson Coleman.
Quack versus the roar of the Bears. Yes, these are rankings through week 7 in the FBS. Oregon 2nd, Baylor 1st. Rush yards 3rd and 4th. Total yards 2nd and 1st. Yards per play 2nd for Oregon, 1st for Baylor.
Well, what jumps out to me about that is the balance. Baylor 1st and 4th in passing and rushing respectively. Oregon 2nd and 3rd. They can do it through the air or on the ground. That is such a tough job for a defense to prepare for.
Bailey with the catch to the 39-yard line. That's a 3-yard gain. 2 good coaches. Art Briles from the high school ranks in Texas to the head coach of Baylor. And this young man has made the climb, earned his way to lead Oregon after Chip Kelly jumped to the National Football League and the Eagles.
And what a fantastic story it is, Coach Helfrich.
Another throw, another catch by Marks. A 7-yard pickup and a first down.
Mark Helfrich, the head coach for the University of Oregon right now, worked his way up, was a graduate assistant when I was here. Born and raised in Coos Bay, Oregon, a small town out on the coast. I mean, you could not have hand-picked a better fit for the University of Oregon right now.
That was Halliday's 68th pass attempt, a new school record. He broke his own that he had 67 attempts against Cal back on October 5th.
Well, and if he stays in this ball game, as it looks like he's going to for a little while, at least on this series, he could be getting up towards 80.
Batted down, line of scrimmage. Stops the clock, 10:43 left, 2nd down 10. Quick throw near side to the 50. Galvin turns and makes that catch of 4 yards.
You know, Craig, I was saying just a moment ago, Mark Helfrich has worked his way to become the head coach at Oregon, starting as a GA, going to Arizona State, becoming a coordinator, going to Colorado, coming back as a coordinator to Oregon, and now assuming the role of head coach just in his first season here. He's just a wonderful ambassador for the school. And honestly, I think between he and Mike Riley over at Oregon State, just up the road in Corvallis, the state of Oregon might have 2 of the nicest head coaches in all of college football.
Halliday's pass overthrown and intended for Williams. Troy Hill recovered.
Well, if you're Helfrich, And you're quarterbacking tonight, Joe. You want to play? Of course you do. But let's be honest, you've got a long season still ahead. Play him or delegate it to the bench. But
Marcus?
But you've got Heisman considerations, no?
Oh, that is the last thing on Coach Helfrich's mind right now. Marcus has put up plenty of numbers right now to keep his position atop the Heisman Trophy list right now.
Boland's punt takes a roll inside the 20, still rolling to the 15, and that's where they'll down it. Is that Austin Apodaca? I believe it is, the redshirt freshman jumping on the field. 9:43 left. Back in Eugene, 62-24 Oregon. They've got the football. And a new quarterback, so Mariota done for the night. Jeff Locke at quarterback. Redshirt freshman, Alamo, California. And now it's an opportunity, Joey. You've been in this position once or twice where you get a chance to start using your bench, your twos and your threes, get an opportunity to play.
Well, yeah. When Marcus has a day like that, it gives you a lead. It gives your young guys a chance to get in there and get some valuable experience.
Locke in trouble, got that ball out, and it's completed down to the 39. A pickup of 8. Ford, number 30, with the tackle, or pardon me, with the reception, and Pritchard with the tackle.
This is valuable experience if you're Jeff Locke. Things that you can lock away in the vault for down the road. You're not going to get a lot of chance to throw the football when you're up by this many points.
They came in 7 of 10, throwing the football for 67 yards, a pick and a touchdown.
But realize here, Craig, this is still Washington State's first team defense. Daquan Brown still in there at corner. Dayon Buchanan still in the secondary. Nauta, Pole still up front. These guys are ones that played against Marcus, and it's a great chance for Locke to learn with some game speed against some very good players.
Ford again with the carry. Fourth down short as the clock's under 8 minutes. Crowd wants Mark Helfrich to go for it, but instead chooses to punt the football. Maldonado will punt at the 25. Good kick. Fair catch, 21-yard line by Brooks. 7:05 left, 39-yard punt. Oregon up big. (62-24) here in Eugene. Let's get it out to Don Bell in LA to see what's coming up on Fox Sports Live.
Don Bell with you here in Los Angeles. Coming up after the game on Fox Sports Live, we'll have exclusive interviews and complete post-game coverage from the ALCS. Plus, which top 10 teams were handed their first loss of the season, and 3 times a charm for Cain Velasquez and Junior Dos Santos. Find out who is the UFC's undisputed heavyweight champion. That's all tonight.
All right, thank you, Don. Stay tuned for Fox Sports Live. Holiday stays in, throws that ball, and it's complete past the 40-yard line to Marcus Mason. A gain of 18 yards. Yeah, Leach going with his ones all the way here tonight, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball.
That's Mike Leach's style. He doesn't let off the gas pedal whether he's winning or losing.
Halliday airs it up top, catch and a hard hit late on Maley. Pickup of 11, Troy Hill knocked him down. There's Mike Leach, second year. Joey last year 3-9. Of course, a lot of expectations overnight after 10 bowl games and 10 years at Texas Tech.
It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while to build what Mike Leach wants here at Washington State, because he had to start from scratch. He had a pretty empty cupboard here when he walked in the door.
Yes, he did.
And he's had to recruit the type of players that fit into his system.
Dom Williams picks up 8 yards.
Gain of 8. Back the line for Sell.
Got an injured player down. Looks like Raheem Cassell, number 34, down for Oregon. Joey, here's the Heisman watch. Names that you think should be in the mix. Seastrunk today was over 100 yards and a couple of touchdowns. He's got 10 on the year. McCarron continues just to handle things at Alabama.
Well, A.J. McCarron has just been solid. He's the leader, in my mind, out of the SEC. Jameis Winston with a big win today against Clemson, but Marcus Mariota is head and shoulders above the rest of them. I think Brett Hundley took a big hit today with UCLA losing and him not looking tremendous, but Marcus has done exactly what he's done all year.
Hey, Ryan, are you going to ask or am I? Where's Johnny Football?
Well, you know, I got to ask that question as well. We know that he continues to play at a high level. He continues to have some electric football plays. And as a quarterback, I think he's on the list for me. And Blake Seastrunk, I got to give him kudos. This guy continues to run the ball. He is the fire to that Baylor offense.
Brian, I got to completely disagree. If you're going to give Johnny Football the Heisman for his win against Alabama last year, not only did he lose to Alabama this year and throw 2 interceptions, but he lost today. You can't give him the Heisman Trophy one year for a win against Alabama in a season in which he only had 7 touchdowns against teams with a 500 record or above. And then this year, give it to him for when he loses 2 games to ranked opponents.
You make a great point, but at the end of the day, when the ball is in his hands, he may be the most electric football player in college football, and he continues to play at a high level. It is a team sport, and his team may not have lived up to their expectations, and that may be one of the reasons why they lost. It may not have been Johnny Manziel, because he continues to put up big-time numbers.
Well, we've seen big numbers from all sorts of players through the history of college football, and the award is given to the most outstanding player in college football. And in my mind, the most outstanding player in college football makes his teammates better and brings up the level of everybody around him in close games, in big games, and he hasn't done that this year against Alabama and again Auburn today.
Interesting discussion, and it will continue on as the college football season continues. We do know this, that Marcus Mariota, though, is putting together quite a fine season, a very special season. Not even 20, as we mentioned. 19 years young, a sophomore. 3rd down and 10. Washington State, to this point, shut out of the second half. Halliday to the air, off the gate, marks, heads to the sideline, takes a pop at the 21, and he's out of bounds. Getting back to the Heisman talk, let's take it back and look in the mirror a little bit. Tim Tebow in 08.
Well, I don't think there's going to be too many people that argue with the fact that Tim Tebow was one of the greatest college quarterbacks to ever play. And if you compare to his Heisman season in 08, very similar, with Marcus edging him out in a lot of key categories. Number one being the record of his team. 2 being the fact that he has not thrown an interception yet. Add another couple touchdown passes to that. Another one on the ground. And 0 interceptions. I mean, that's the most incredible stat of this whole thing. Coming into today, he had gone 233 pass attempts in a row without an interception. That was a Pac-12 record. Add 32 attempts onto that, and that record just keeps on growing.
Over the last 3 games, he's accounted for nearly 1,300 yards of total offense. I mean, those are staggering numbers. Oregon shows blitz. They came up the middle. Halliday able to get the ball away to the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 6. And Mason shaking up a little bit as he limps off.
Craig, let me say also something to what Ryan and I were talking about earlier. Johnny Manziel put up eye-popping numbers last year, but he played nearly, up at this point in the season, has played nearly 80 more snaps than Marcus Mariota has. That's almost 2 full football games, considering Marcus is generally out by halftime in most games.
Yes, that's a good point as well. Out for most of this 4th quarter. Halliday in the pocket, dumps it, ball's tipped, and incomplete. That brings up 4th and 5. Ryan Hagan tipped that ball. That floated for a moment, and for a moment, you thought maybe another interception for Halliday. Washington State, Joey, with a bye next week. Then they take on Arizona State Halloween night at home. Halliday, another completion.
And that's going to be a tough game against Arizona State, who just knocked off Washington today. Boy, Washington has found themselves in a bit of a rut. They ran into a buzzsaw 3 weeks in a row with Stanford, Oregon, and an underrated Arizona State team. Taylor Kelly leading the Sun Devils very quietly, just improving under the radar.
Cougars trying to find the end zone for the first time in this half. Up top, catch in the end zone, and a touchdown for Marks. 8-yard toss. Halliday to Marks.
And Craig, how many times have you seen a guy throw the ball 82 times in a game?
You know what, I'm witnessing it for the first time tonight. I don't know if you want to soak that arm in ice like a pitcher who goes, 110 pitches on a night.
Well, on his 83rd pass, goes for over 500 yards and his 3rd touchdown of the night.
78 yards, 12 plays for the Cougars.
So 83 attempts, 502 yards, 4 picks, and 3 touchdowns.
Well, tonight's attendance, 56,949.
It's time for our Right Stuff Player of the Game, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Byron Marshall of Oregon. A lot of things tonight with his legs. Caught the football. We mentioned his cut ability. 21 carries, 192 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's the Right Stuff Player of the Game.
Well, and deservedly so. With the Anthony Thomas being out, Byron Marshall has stepped in and has not missed a beat. This is his 4th straight game going over 100 yards. Coming into today, he had 550 yards and 6 touchdowns on the ground. Had nearly 200 more tonight, and he jumps right into the mix in terms of top rushing or top running backs in the country, yard-wise. You know, this may be beneficial to Oregon, the DeAnthony Thomas injury down the road, because what it's done is it's allowed young running backs like Byron Marshall and Thomas Tyner to get valuable playing time.
Well, they've taken advantage of the opportunity. The kick is away, taken back to the 2-yard line. And Oregon will set up shop at the 31. Now it's time for a game break. Let's check in. Back in LA, here's Patrick O'Neill.
Hey, Craig, thanks. Well, they're chucking it around there in Eugene. In Arizona, it's on the ground to beat Utah. This is Kadeem Carey. That's what he's doing, carrying it 40 times, 236 yards. That's 44 yards for the score. First conference win for the Wildcats, 35-24 final. Craig, back to you.
All right, thank you, Patrick. So Utah was hoping to make it 2 in a row in Pac-12 play after the win against Stanford. Go on the road, tough to win away from your home field.
Especially when they're playing Kadeem Carey, who might be the best running back in the country.
Jake Rodriguez, flags out. So another quarterback, Rodriguez, redshirt freshman.
Offense, number 77, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Holding the call. There's Rodriguez, a 6'3", 217-pounder.
And both of these young quarterbacks who played tonight, Rodriguez and Lockheed, know that they need to get ready. Because we don't know what Marcus Mariota is going to do. He's eligible for the draft after this season. He said that he's going to discuss it with his parents, who have been a fantastic sounding board for him. And he said, we're going to make a decision as a family. I think the Oregon faithful would love to see Marcus back for another season at least, but that possibility is there.
How much improvement, though, can he show, and what's the learning curve here?
Well, the amount that he's improved from last year to this year is monumental. Every single rep that you can take before you get to that next level only adds to your ability to handle those situations in the NFL that you've never seen.
Offense, number 72, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
So the O-line jumps, and that will cost him. Second down and 19. Now I'm anxious to see what the decision will be. He played it very smart, very cool with us in our talk yesterday.
A great pass.
But Joe, you hit on it. I just think he has the direction. He has the support system that will help him make the correct decision. Because it's tempting.
It is. Absolutely it is. But you have to remember, and we've talked about it earlier in the game, but he's not even 20 years old yet. He's still a teenager.
What were you doing at 19?
You don't want to know.
I can't tell you. I don't even want to go there.
I was practicing. I was getting ready. Ryan, what were you doing at 19?
Hey, Joe, you don't want to know what I was doing, but I know what you were doing. You were ordering the Joey Harrington sandwich. I know that. You're putting on some LBs back in the day at 19.
I think if you ask most people, what were you doing at 19, they just kind of shy away from that answer. But this young man is playing on a big stage with a chance to win a national championship, number 2 in the country, and of course on top. Who's ahead of Oregon, you ask? And it's Alabama. With a quarterback that just basically takes care and runs Nick Saban's offense. He directs things. He's a director.
You know what? I think to a certain point, and I think that A.J. McCarron does not get the credit he deserves. Early in his career, you'd call him a game manager or a director, but in that national championship game against LSU, when he took it to Tyrann Mathieu there in the second half, he grew up, and he has been a very underrated force for that Alabama offense, which he's been overshadowed by guys like Eddie Lacy and T.J. Yeldon, Trent Richardson.
I would agree, and sometimes overshadowed by his own head coach,
Absolutely.
Nick Saban. You look in the north, in the Pac-12, Oregon State, maybe a surprise with Mike Riley. Stanford suffering their first loss last week. Riley today. Washington was on a roll. They've lost 2 in a row. In the south, it's Arizona State, UCLA, Utah. USC rallied for a win today. USC. No, they were knocked off.
They got beat right there at the end.
At the end, you're right.
That was a close one.
Holiday remains on the field. Gabe Marks with the reception.
Dana Moore, second down 6.
This game going on 3 hours and 40 minutes.
That's what happens when you throw it nearly 90 times.
Holiday marks out of bounds, stops the clock after a pickup of 11.
How about this for Connor Holiday? Coming in today, he'd started 12 games in his career. 5 games last year and the 6 leading up to it this year. 9 times he's gone over 100. 3 times he's gone over 400. And this is the 2nd time in his career he's gone over 500 yards.
Back to throw, another completion inside the 30-yard line. Well, Joey, I tell you, if you're a quarterback who likes to throw the football and Mike Leach gives you a call and says, young man, I want you to come to Washington State, I think you jump in a car and run or just drive as fast as you can or catch a plane. I mean, that's the Leach way. I mean, what you're seeing is what he did at Texas Tech. But you have to wonder, too, sooner or later, do you not have to establish some sort of a run game?
Well, that's always been the hope.
Pass complete inside the 5-yard line. This time, Craycraft picks up 25 yards. Well, Holiday has put on a show. FBS record for attempts now, 87. He's 57 of 87, 555 yards.
And I'm going to guess he's still going to throw it on this play, too. Watch him run the ball.
He's got that front line of Oregon spread out. Shotgun, quick hitter. Tried to hit a hot slant, and it just came right off the hands of Marks. Leach working it all the way down to the final minute. So I hear criticism sometimes about just why your starters are in, but you know what? Reps are good. Of course, you do, chance injury, but it's a situation where you learn you could be in a situation where this play could win you a ball game at another time. Ratliff, touchdown, Washington State. In the final seconds here of the ball game.
You know, a certain part of me loves the fact that Mike Leach is keeping his starters in the whole game. I mean, it's a reflection of his attitude as a coach.
Yes.
And his team has showed that today. We talked about it in the first half, how even though they were losing, they never gave up. This team is going to play there. They're going to show up and they're going to fight. From the opening kick until the last whistle, they're going to play and they're going to fight. And I think the fact that he's keeping his starters in reflects that attitude from Mike Leach.
You know, my thought about this topic is this. You take over a program, you try to build, and this is part of that building process. It's about being tough. It's about going that extra distance. You got slapped around, but you keep playing.
Well, he has to come in and wipe out everything that happened before. I mean, he really does. He has to somehow erase the memory of everything that these guys have done previous to when he got here, prior to when he got there.
And Joey, there were a player or two that didn't like the system.
Oh, yeah.
And they walked out.
They had some issues last year, and that's going to happen.
Well, the records are falling. Holiday, 58 completions tonight, ties Andy Schmidt's FBS record. So attempts and completions tonight here in Eugene for Holiday. And now Oregon will go 7-0. Is there a team left in the Pac-12 with any opportunity to knock this team out?
Yeah, there are. UCLA, they both played each other today. UCLA and Stanford can both do it in the right situation.
DJ Kelly on the return.
We've seen, especially today, that any team can lose anywhere at any time.
Yes.
And UCLA and Stanford are very good football teams. Just because Oregon has dominated a lot of opponents and had a big win against Washington last week doesn't mean that at some point this season they won't be vulnerable.
B.J. Kelly ran that ball for 24 yards. And Oregon with 7 seconds left. Jeff Locke now at quarterback. We've seen Rodriguez and now Locke. Instead of a knee, they run it into the heart and soul of Washington State. 3 yards and the clock runs dry. 62-38. Oregon remains unbeaten. Number 2 in the country. For Joey Harrington, Ryan Neese, Craig Bullerjack, we say good night from Eugene. The final score, 62-38. You've been watching Fox College Football presented by Geico on Fox Sports 1. We now go to LA for Fox Sports Live, which starts right now.